Let's go! Welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, here with my special guest, Mr. Chris Richardson. And if you love college football, you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame College Football. Welcome into the show, everybody. What's up, Chris? How you doing, man?
It's Thursday night. A lot of excitement going on around Sooner Nation. So,
a lot of excitement going on around.
Scrolling the old Twitter feeds.
Yeah, man. The been a little bit of drama today, which there generally is on Twitter, right? But hey, Kim, how are you? Kimberly K, how are you? Yeah, man.
And I don't even know if I'd say drama so much, man. I think it's more speculation than anything at this point.
Well, I know at least one major media guy did. Well, I know. I'm pretty sure two of the media guys that trustworthy media. It's not just Twitter knuckleheads that are saying this, but it sounds like, you know, a fair case of tampering or whatever. It looks like tampering. And Dan Lanning has been in town and may still be in town, from what I understand. That's pretty wild, man. Pretty wild. Got a set on him to be able to hang around in Norman and come in and, you know, I understand why he was here with the Dylan Gabriel thing, with him being in the thing, but still pretty brave.
Yeah, thank you for watching, man. Honestly, I haven't seen anything yet that he is going to Oregon, so that's why I say hold back a little bit. Say it's more of a speculation at this point, but I think that we're kind of leading where it looks like all the picture. It's going to be drama here in the near future.
I think the one thing that, and we talked about this earlier today when we were just, you know, talking on to set up the computer, but I think this is what and I talked about this the other night, guys, is that you have to realize that this is the new college football. And really, if you want to blame anybody, we got to blame the schools. We got to blame the NCAA, that they and the coaches and administrators, all of them, because they're the ones that have allowed it to get to this point. You could have fixed this NIL problem a long time ago. Now, the main thing that they don't want to do still is turn this into a full-on employee thing that would screw up all their whole status as the NCAA. They don't want that. But that's where it's headed. I don't know how many of you guys may have saw there was Andy Staples did a thing on On3, and he was talking. It's actually a pretty good little video, and he's got a column that he wrote. If you guys are locked into On3, you should check it out. It's essentially letting you know that it's about to start, but it's one way that, you know, it was kind of connected to the Florida State not getting into the playoff thing, and you've got legislators and people talking about lawsuits and shit. None of that's going to work. The Attorney General, apparently what is she subpoenaing any notes and different stuff like that was going on during with the committee, but they don't. That's why they do it in person. There is no notes. There's no electronic stuff. They just talk. And they do that for a reason. In the end, he was talking about the way that you would be able to do it is to just make it a law in the state that your bowl games can pay the players, and they will. And that would immediately change everything, right? So, hey, Coach I coming into the show. Coach I. Welcome to the show, Coach I. What's up, buddy?
What's the dealie, yo?
How you been, man?
Hey,
this is Chris Richardson. This is a friend of mine here from Oklahoma. We were just talking. Well, we're starting to talk about some of this NIL and transfer portal and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Hey,
in there too.
Hey, it's the way of the world, ain't it?
It is. World. Apparently, this whole thing with Caden Green, they've been saying that there's been reports from pretty trusted sources that are saying that Dan Lanning's been hanging around Norman lately.
Hey, be like that. We just lost Jamon Dumas Johnson to the portal.
Just saw that, man. Yeah, listen.
Hey, man, it's not surprising. I'm gonna be honest. I know a lot of people will say it, but it's not. You got these young guys coming up, NIL out here. Hey, man, we got to move on, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all watch. Do y'all watch Jaron Koenig and Danny Stutman's The Prairie on the Pod or Pod on the Prairie? So they were talking about how it's a podcast. Obviously, our linebackers that do together. It started with the tight end and two tight ends, Braden Willis and Jay Hall. But anyhow, they were talking about how valid it is. You could go elsewhere and make your money. It don't matter how good of a player you are. It does not matter. You hit that portal, you're going to get offered more money to go elsewhere. So, and there was a thing where they were saying the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but the money is. So that was something that was touched on by some other players. Well, Kel Gundy actually touched on it and said, that's just the reality of it. Y'all go get your money while you can because it won't be there forever. So there's some truth to it, and it is the way of the game these days. It's the landscape of college football. You're going to get some guys that loyalty means something, being committed to an actual program. And then you're going to get other guys that look at it as it's a business step the entire way.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Here's the thing: is I'm still of the belief. I mean, look, I'm not anti-portal. I'm not anti-money. I think you got to pay these guys. They should have been paying them a long time ago. And that's what I was saying before all this. Is that before Coach I came on? Is that look, it got here because the NCAA has been incompetent and really just lining their pockets for years. They don't care about these kids. And what does Shotty always say, Coach I, about, hey, that scholarship is renewable year to year too, and when they're tired of you, they'll get you out of there.
Just on a different note though, like what's crazy is, and I told Shotty this, this is technically still not NIL, right?
It's not NIL. That's the next thing I was bringing up. NIL is just endorsements. That's where the people, and we kind of got into this on the live the other night, that like that's a contract that's going to lock them into your school. That the NIL does not right now, as we stand here, the reason that the schools, they may have control on it, they may have control of it, but not technically they do not.
Well, even deeper. So look, all this started because of the lawsuit, back in, I want to say it was 2014, 2012, something like that. I don't know. The lawsuit saying that, hey, you guys are making money off of us. Why can't we make money? That was part A. So we want some of the money that you're making off of us. That's part A. Part B was you should allow us to use our own name, image like this to make money. Right. So the NCAA let them do part B. They still not giving them part of part A.
Of course,
like the schools and the universities and the programs and the NCAA still making all that money. And the complaint was you're making money and you're not sharing it with us. They're still
the last thing that they want to do is share that.
They're still not sharing it.
No, and
they're getting donors and fans and alumni and all. I mean, yeah, you got a business. I got a car dealership, and I went to Georgia, so I want to sponsor some kids or whatever it is. But
well, yeah, and I was telling people the other night and trying to explain that. Look, this is more. I mean, if you think about professional athletes, I mean, the easiest ones to think about would be like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, guys like that have triple, quadruple the amount of money coming in from their endorsements than they do their contracts.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I remember at the end of Michael's career, he was making $25 million. He was making $60 million in freaking endorsements. He still makes $100 million a year now.
Oh yeah, LeBron hasn't spent a dime of his actual NBA salary.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to. I mean, he had $100 million from Nike coming out of high school.
Exactly. Then that's the whole thing, is that it's just the way that it is. But I'll tell you, that's the thing, is so as much as we hate it when we see these guys leaving, and they're leaving everywhere, and as when the playoff is over with, there's going to be guys leaving those teams too. It's just how it is. You have starting quarterbacks like crazy have hit the portal this year. This is and more than I've ever seen it happen. Guys that, what's his name at OSU? The kid.
Yeah, the freshman.
Kyle McCord. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you. You got to. I'm Oklahoma.
Yeah. I was thinking it too, dog. I was thinking Oklahoma State.
Then you've got Oregon State's kid, that freshman that, he's the one that's going to end up going with the guy to Michigan State with Nathan Smith. And then,
Child or whatever.
Yeah, Childs. He's a stud. And apparently DJU may be ending up at Florida State, which that'll piss a Clemson fan base off something fierce, won't it? DJU goes and plays at Florida State. But you haven't seen this.
Kid projected to go there.
I think they were talking about. He's the last one that I've heard a lot of, or it would be the kid from Washington State. Cam Ward is another guy they've been talking about.
That's it. That's who it was. Well, here's the things. Even the way that the NIL game's kind of shaping up right now, it can work. But the only way it's going to work, you have to have some uniform to it. You can't have the 10 biggest richest programs sit here pulling these kids, throwing money out there. It's just not. You're not going to have any type of
balance.
You're always going to have in that competitive edge. Nobody can compete with the Georgias, the Texas, the Oklahoma, the Alabamas, Ohio State, Michigan. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get a Kansas or a Kansas State forking over that type of money for kids. Oregon's got that Nike money. I mean, again, you're going to have some programs that are going to be able to kind of centralize their money and say, hey, we're going to target a top-notch quarterback. We've got some pieces we think can make it happen. We're going to throw – I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard $800,000 was thrown at Caden Green. So if you're dropping $800,000 on a college kid, a freshman at that,
interior offensive lineman,
yeah. But like I said, he started 7 games.
Well, I think there's a difference. I think there's a difference between schools that have it and schools that are willing to spend it. There's a misconception out there. There's a lot of schools that have it that still aren't willing to spend it. The Alabamas and Georgias and Michigans, Clemsons, they're like Kirby don't get in bid war. So it's a misconception. I'm telling you, like the Weary kid, like when he came on to visit, that was the last time Kirby spoke to him. He was like, man, what are you gonna do? Like, I'm not gonna get in the bidding war for somebody that hasn't proven anything. He will help you get the most NIL you can get.
Well, Mary used Oklahoma's offer, I think, to get more out of the Mizzou collective too.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, Kirby, like if you prove it on the field, I'll help you get, as much NIL as you can get it. But I'm not going to get in a bidding war for a recruit because that guy might not even pan out. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. That happened
like
you said.
Whenever he was at Florida, Jaden Rashada. I mean, $10 million. You joking?
Man, think about it. Since the NIL started, we're a lot of people consider us RBU. We haven't had a top 5 running back in 3 years.
It has been a while, yeah.
Because running backs, listen, man, I know the guy, one of the guys on the board of our collective. He said running backs are a premium. Yeah. So, and Kirby like, hey man, I'll get who I can get. Kirby tries to sell them on the NFL money as opposed to the NIL money.
I think the best coaches are doing that.
So
go ahead, Chris. What were you going to say? Real quick, I just want to, hey, Bishop Frank, thank you very much. That's a gift of 1 membership to the Hall of Fame Mafia. Thank you very much for that, Bishop Frank. And I wanted to say hi to all the guys we had talked to yet. Mr. Wilkerson, Boomer 129, T Boomer. We've got Steve B, Stephen G, Ben Belcher. The portal will hurt the soul a little bit, the soul mission a little bit because of all the turnover in players. A little, but it's just, again, I was saying this the other day. The thing about this is that, look, you're not going to get the toothpaste back in the tube. You've got to realize that the NIL is not officially connected to the school. The school they have some control over it most places now. But the truth is they're going to keep it this way to where they don't have to pay you like an employee, just like what Coach I was saying. They don't have to do revenue share because they don't want to do that.
Nope.
They don't want to do that. They don't want to be on the hook for your health after the fact or whatever. They think that once they get you out of there, they've done enough, right? That's just the way it is. And it's going to get there to that point at some point. I don't know that that's a great thing as far as what you think of college football at this point, but I think that we have to start looking at it in a different ways. We are in a different era. Until they get that, you're not going to cap anything. And I don't know that, how are you going to cap it anyway? They're still.
I was about to say they can't cap it anyway because the money's not coming out of the university's fund.
At this point, they can't. I'm saying if once they get to that point where there's a CBA, collective bargaining, there's a union, and look, we're not that far away from that. They've got lawsuits and stuff going on in California and in Florida and some other places too. The Big Ten guys,
Players Association.
Yeah, they're trying to do Players Association stuff. This is going to happen. It is what it is. This is basically, now we are at the point that we are in professional football.
Now, I don't want to be a downer or a doomer on this, but let's just be real. As an Oklahoma fan, we know all too well we were in trouble for paying players and whatnot back in the 80s, and we weren't able to on TV, all that. Even if they put a cap on it or they find some way to regulate it, let's be real, you're still going to have people sliding those McDonald's bags over.
Y'all got caught, but everybody was doing it. I mean, let's just.
Absolutely. And I'm not naive. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to pretend that we were innocent.
Yeah, and like you say, they're not gonna be able to put a cap on it because if they tried, like you said, it's gonna be some handshakes and fist bumps at the dinner dinners for the donors and things of that nature. So,
100%.
And I think the best way, and Bishop Frank, did you do that twice? Thank you, Bishop Frank. That's 2 of them. All right. I think that the thing that you have to remember is that, look, they're going to get the NIL stuff. You can get something out of it and teach them how to freaking actually make money being an influencer and stuff like that. I mean, that's big. And it's separate from all of it anyway. They're still going to get NIL and it's not going to have nothing to do with it. But as long as all you have is NIL tying them, they're not tied to the school. They can leave whenever they're ready. I don't even think that you're going to be able to stop them from transferring more than once before long. It's not going to be long that you're not going to be able to do that.
But I think if I read right, there's a temporary release on that right now too. Like
I just saw that earlier. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how long it's like for. I don't know if it's for a month or like a couple of weeks. But the NCAA said multi-time transfers can be eligible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's a limited time. I just don't know. I just don't know how long it's going to be.
It was an injunction or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. Because they, people been fighting that since they came down with it. So, listen, the NCAA, man, it's to the point now. The NCAA really ain't got a lot of power.
They haven't in a long time. I mean, when they went to the Supreme Court about something entirely different, and that Justice, I think it was Justice Kavanaugh, went off on them and said, your labor practices are awful. And then they just tried to, we'll institute NIL. But again, it's because they don't want to pay salaries and they don't want to share these billions that they're getting off of the.
I was about to say
this.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Coach.
No, I was going to say, like Jason was saying, they're not going to do any kind of revenue profit sharing or anything like that.
Have to. Not so they have to.
Because a lot of these deals are inflated, but I think like the highest guys are getting, probably, 2 million, something like that. But that's nothing compared to what they would be getting if they were sharing some of this money that their schools are making. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
They don't want to do that. They definitely don't want to do that.
Agree.
Now, what I want to touch on a while ago, we were talking about the NCAA, and we keep bringing up tampering, but at this point, why even call it tampering? The NCAA,
I know, right?
It's not going to do nothing about it.
Tampering's a word.
I mean, there's nothing. I mean, it's just part of it now. I mean, let's just be real. We don't like it, and we know it isn't right. We know we're not supposed to be doing it. However, who's going to force nobody? So why even bring it up? What's the purpose?
Exactly. What is the purpose? Because you have guys. We had 2 guys. I want to say last week or the week before, right when the portal opened, that entered the portal with no contact tags and were committed the next day. I want to say the guy from NC, it was a guy from NC State maybe, or somewhere from the ACC. He was like, no contact tag, committed the next day. So if you got a no contact tag, then that means you've been talking to somebody already.
Well, yeah, and I mean that's where this Caden Green stuff is. Where and again, we'll kind of go through a little bit of that in a minute. We can because I wanted to kind of touch on what we're hearing, but the thing about it is when it came down to him, we know now that Dan Lanning was in town. Now, obviously, that could have been for Dylan Gabriel and that kind of stuff, but he was in town, spotted in Norman the day that Caden Green left without really telling anyone. He didn't enter the portal until today. He's like officially in the portal today.
Yeah. Steve G said a guy from Clemson, Bo Collins. That's who entered. My bad.
Oh, okay.
That's who entered the portal with no contact tag and then ended up at Notre Dame.
Right.
Or Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard did that. Riley
Leonard did. Yeah. Riley Leonard did it too.
Yeah. Guys, tampering is just a word. It's a word.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be wild because people said Mizzou, Colorado, and Oregon. And I would say, in the on three, verbiage, 80% is what it's looking like. So if that's the case, and he just entered today and all that was coming out prior to, I mean, again, we don't have to like it. And it can be right there written on the wall in front of you, but nothing's going to come of it at this point. So if that's the case, and they're pretty much setting the precedence on it. So what's going to happen is you're going to start getting more places start tampering. So this could potentially just be the start of it. It could spread like a wildfire because it hasn't happened too often to too many blue blood programs per se. You've seen it with Jordan Addison last year. Everybody was saying, hey, that was a blatant tampering. Nothing came of that.
Well, they couldn't prove it.
Bolitnikoff winner. Well, exactly.
Caleb
but
Williams
there's ways
just like not Lincoln.
See, that's what I was just about to say.
Like
the players make the phone call. You can't do nothing about that because that could just be their home.
But exactly. But why can't not be something too, though? I mean, again, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just going to happen. It's just the way it's going to be now.
Yeah. So, hey, man. Listen, I don't get excited about it because, like you say, it's a topic of conversation. But at the end of the day, like you said, we can't do nothing about it. They're not going to do anything about it. So we just have to ride the roller coaster until, Labor Day weekend next year when we take the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you're right, too. But and that's the whole thing is I want to see people get less wound up about this shit because there's really nothing you can do. And,
it's okay it's okay to talk about it.
And you freak out. When you get on there and freak out, you look bad.
Bro, like they be coming at these kids, like for real, like NIL plays a big part of this. We're not gonna act like that's not, but I'm telling y'all, even in this NIL world, there's still coaches that say, hey man, it's been real, but we're gonna focus on these young guys. So you can stay, but you might not get no playing time. You know what I'm saying? Like that happens still. But the first thing we turn to is hate. First of all, man, you grown men, women, like stop hating on these 18-year-olds. Like, be mad at the coach. I know he's a man. He's 40.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
He's a man. He's 40.
He said that the other day. Stop hating the player, hate the game, man.
Right. Like if I'm 18 and I know I can go get some money somewhere, like, come on, we was all 18 before, man. Come on now.
There's a way to there's a way to do things and a way not to do things, though, I think. But go ahead, Chris. What are you saying?
I was what you were about to say. Me and Jason discussed it earlier, and let's just be real. These are grown-ass men at this point. You're 18, 19 years old. You're about to ink a almost 7-figure deal just to play college football. So you're going to have some sort of attention on you, especially, again, like you said, Oklahoma's still a big-time program. You're a starter, and, of course, it's going to stir some stuff up, you bouncing. So with that being said, conduct yourself like an adult. Go talk to the coaches. Let them know what's going on. Don't leave any room for the speculation to even start. You can control it, the narrative from the start, how you conduct yourself. So all this is coming upon himself.
I can agree with some of that, but some of the coaches aren't mature enough to accept that because then they'll stop playing the kid. Like Kirby, not Kirby didn't say it, but one of the dog media guys said that there was some players that announced to Kirby, I want to say it was like after the Mizzou game, maybe it was the Florida game, that they had intentions on hitting the portal when it opened, but they were still practicing hard and stuff. And he was like, cool, I'll help you, go some places if you, want to go some places. But every coach ain't going to handle it like that. I coached for 15 years, dog. I ain't going to lie. Early on in my career, I wouldn't have accepted it like that. I'm like, you leaving? Well, I guess you ain't playing. That's how I would have took that.
Well, I get that.
I'm keeping it a buck, dog. You telling me like Lincoln Riley, we heard the conversation between him and the dude. Like, I'm not saying the dude handled it right or whatever, but Lincoln wouldn't have played that dude if he'd just been straight up with him, dog. Like that's Lincoln, dog.
But that's also
not Lincoln.
a
I'm
thing
sorry,
too,
Lane Kiffin. My bad.
Yeah, but you got to be kind of smart about it too.
Go ahead.
Those kids don't. What was it?
Coach I speaking to South Carolina fans.
No, I'm speaking to all fans, dog. I'm all over Twitter. I'm speaking to Georgia fans too, man. Like they attacking these kids, man. Like Kirby is literally telling some of these dudes to get out of Athens politely. Hey, man, I'll send you film somewhere. You know.
Hey, John did it last year. I'm sure Brent Venables done his fair share of processing out. I mean, that's everywhere. You know what I mean? You got to make room with 85 scholarships. You're going to have to make room. If you know that you need competitive depth at certain areas, you're not going to hang on to what you got that's not contributing and producing. So you have to make room. I mean, it's just part of it too. But also, like I said, though, I mean, these kids, before they announce, I wouldn't announce them to, go to a coach and say, hey, man, because it kind of would seem to me like you're trying to leverage yourself or something. If you're telling me 6 weeks into the season, hey, my plan's to leave. Well, you don't even know how that's going to shake out. I mean, you're just one snap away from being in there replacing somebody because of an injury. So, I mean, wait till after the season, the last game. I mean, that would be smart, I would think. But again, that's just me.
Yeah, I mean,
well, and when you think about that, though, if the portal didn't open while the season's still going on,
so that's what I'm saying. Like,
this is trace somebody.
If you trace some of this stuff, right? Really, I get why they try to open it when they did, I guess, because signing days coming up, coaches got roster management, things of that nature. But it could be. I think
that's why Malik had to get in there now because he was about to not have anywhere to go play.
Exactly, because if you don't get in there by January the 2nd, you gotta now. Once you're in the portal, you can commit whenever, but you got to get in the portal by January 2nd, or you have to wait till April the 15th. And if you wait till April 15th, if you not like a Kyle McCord or Jordan Addison in his case, where you're known by everybody, spots get filled up because we already know, man, there's like 6,000 kids in the portal every year. Everybody don't get a spot. Everybody don't get a new home. Some people just end up graduating from college and calling it a day.
Anthony, I like this question. It might be Michael Hawkins, bro. I think it might be Michael Hawkins.
Which quarterback and what traits would you do? The past 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Give me give me Tim Tebow's will to win. Give me Lamar Jackson's speed and athleticism.
Oof.
And give me CJ Stroud's arm.
CJ's got a big arm.
And give me Peyton. Peyton was before. That's before 20 years. I need somebody that can process defenses.
I'll tell you whose arm I would want probably would be Matt Stafford. Bro.
With a better mentality. Yeah, with a better mentality. Yeah.
And be a dog like Baker Mayfield.
So, no. He's talking mentality. Let's say Matt Stafford's arm and Vince Young's, you got to have some Vince Young in there.
So,
that mentality is.
Because the problem with Stafford when he was at Georgia was he trusted his arm too much. Like he tried, like you can't always fit it in there. Like
you got Megatron, less Megatrons on the other side. Then you can throw it wherever you want.
Yeah,
I'm going to shorten mine up. I'm going to say Johnny Manziel with Tim Tebow size.
I can do that.
And I'll say Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow was level-headed. Johnny Manziel, not so much.
Yeah.
Right. Who would you guys? Hey, this is a great question. I like it, man.
Steve G asked.
Hey, you know what? Steven G ain't wrong. Give me Kyler Murray. Kyler had a big arm. He was fast. He was cool.
Andrew Luck. That's who I need for the processing. Yeah. Shout out to Anthony. Yeah. Peyton, like I say, not Peyton Manning, but Andrew Luck's IQ, Lamar Jackson's athleticism, CJ Stroud's arm, and Tim Tebow's mentality. Perfect quarterback.
Do you know what his numbers are though, Jeff? even during having those injuries during that. I mean, he played for Detroit. Everybody got hurt.
Oh, he's that's the thing. He's
His
better
numbers
in the
are
pros than he's
insane.
better in the pros than he ever was in college.
Insane numbers, man. But again, they were.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying. Who are you looking for?
Steve G put up he said, "Does Coach I want him? Who is him?" And
talking about Malik.
Malik Murphy. I would love to have Malik, but if Carson Beck's coming back, I don't think that's a smart move for Malik.
Yeah, why would you wait? Well, I mean, why are you leaving Texas for that matter? If that's
I was about to say that. Yeah, if you leave in Texas for Athens and Carson is coming back, that means that someone in Texas has told you that you're going to be behind Arch, and in Athens you wouldn't necessarily be behind anybody else.
Bionic arm there too, Brands.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, if you ask me, would I want him over Carson coming back? No. Give me Carson.
Well, yeah, Malik's not. He's not as polished. I mean, he's getting better. And I think here's the one thing I was saying the other day. A lot of people, I don't remember who was it. It was on Jay's show. They were talking about it, and they were saying that he wasn't that good. Well, somebody said he wasn't that good, and I said, wait a minute. He had some turnovers, but the guy, if it's not for Malik Murphy, they're not in the playoff right now.
That's fact.
He won the games when Quinn was hurt, kept them winning. And this is from he hadn't really gotten any other reps aside from that. But I'm telling you,
that's without the full playbook.
He has every tool.
Remember that now. That was without the full playbook. You know, the backup never had.
I hate to say this, with us heading into the SEC, and it wouldn't help us, at all. But I still think LSU and South Carolina would be great fits for Malik Murphy because they've got skill set players that can help him tremendously. But I'm telling you right now, South Carolina, they are bringing in some weapons in the portal. It seems like every day they're bringing people in.
They got their version of Malik Murphy in Lenore Sellers. They're going all in on. So I don't know if I'm not saying that Malik's not better than him. I think he is, but apparently they're really high on Lenore Sellers.
I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah, he's like he may be
similar type though, right?
Yeah, similar type of quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like people are gonna question both of their arms until they show them, but they got super good athleticism. I think Lenoris might be a step faster, maybe. Malik's probably got the better arm right now. And then at LSU, he could go in there and battle, but I think Nussmeier is gonna win that job.
I think Malik Murphy,
that's the thing about leaving, though, man. Yeah, that's the thing about leaving, man. In the portal, regardless, you're taking a chance. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? Well, you are taking a chance. But if they're going to,
if you want to play high level, my bad. If you want to play high level, he can.
They're going to give you money though too. And LSU, I mean, man, come on.
Where is he originally from?
Daniels did from last year to this year. He had 17 touchdowns last year passing. He had over 50 touchdowns this year.
So where is Malik Murphy originally from? Like what state?
California.
Ooh,
he's a California kid.
I know. I
saw there, man. But he wants. He's sure. I think he blew his knee out in the state championship game. Is the story I heard. I think blew his knee out in the state championship game. Yeah, it's look, man. I'd like to get him and stash him or whatever, man. I mean, shoot, let him play. He's got to play somewhere. I think I could definitely see him. I think that Ryan Day would be good for him. I think that and now
I think Ryan Day's going to go hard.
They've got their guy though. They like Devin, I think, and so I think that.
But I heard they was going after Cam Ward too, though.
They are after Cam Ward. It's between them, and I think SC is still in there on him somehow too. And I'm here in Florida State, but it sounds like DJU is going to Florida State.
I heard that. That's going to be wild.
Could you imagine? That's going to piss Clemson people right off, which is hilarious. It's hilarious, right?
Funny. Yeah.
They already hate on him. They were hating on him when he was there.
Yeah.
We have had his dad on here. He's been on our show 3 times, and I mean, Big Dave is cool as hell, but he's like, And he takes credit, man. He doesn't badmouth them or anything like that. And he could because They ate him up, man. And, pretty wild.
I'm curious. Michigan has been stagnant from what I can tell. I don't know if they're just focusing on the playoff or what, but their quarterback, he's had a ton of experience. They don't have him moving forward. Are they that comfortable with their quarterback room that
the shit out
actually JJ McCarthy hasn't declared yet? So technically, he can come back.
It's too deep.
Really?
The class is so deep.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I know some people talk like I think JJ McCarthy is good, but when you talk a lot, like you said, the class, like I just don't know as a thrower. Like when you put the whole package
you
together,
don't know if he's a good thrower or not. He doesn't get reps, man. They don't throw the damn ball.
Well, bruh, listen, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes there's a reason for that.
True. But I don't know. The times that I've watched him, and of course, those have basically been against Ohio State because I can't watch Big Ten football for very long. I can't. I mean, I'll watch it some, but it drives me nuts sometimes. But what he did at the shoe last year, I mean, he was hitting long passes and on the money. I mean, no slowing down. They didn't have to speed up. It was dropping it in the breadbasket, man. And it was, I mean, great play calling, but you got to execute. He did. Yeah. I just think that he doesn't get enough reps for you to see the numbers that you probably want to see as an NFL guy. Size-wise, arm strength-wise, I mean, if Anthony Richardson can go number one, I mean, that guy can.
That's crazy.
Hit water if you fell out of a freaking boat.
Let me ask this, because for the way that it's getting described and whatnot, it's a quarterback popped in my head similar to what was being described, and that sounds a lot like Spencer Rattler.
Bro, Spencer
Rattler. He's got games where he's good, then the other games you just don't get to see the reps. I mean, he's so up and down. I was shocked that he declared, if we're being honest. South Carolina was.
He's out. Isn't he out of?
Well, I think Spencer's out, but he's going NFL. I think Spencer's been good this year. Now, last year it was kind of up and down, but this year
grew up a little bit from everything you hear.
Hey, Spencer, listen, none of South Carolina's issues were Spencer this year by far. Like
the fact that
their line was
can't keep anybody.
Absolutely horrendous. Their offensive line. They didn't have a lot of weapons once Juice went down. I mean, he had Xavier Leggett, but
the best tight end. Yeah,
listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. They won 5 games, and if they didn't have Spencer, and it was the guy, if it was Lenore Sellers this year, I don't know if they win 5 games. To be honest with you,
yeah,
he still had a COVID year left. That guy,
yeah, yeah, because you got to think he was at OU.
It sounds like he's going to be at worst a second rounder to me.
I think he's going to do good at the combine. He's going to throw well,
bro. That's one thing he can do. There's not many guys that are as big as him and that can throw it. He's accurate. He throws a good ball. I mean, it's all between the ears with Spencer Rattler.
His draft grade is going to depend on his interview. That's it. Other than that, like you talking about this being a quarterback, Spencer's got that down.
He does. But he doesn't handle adversity very well, or he hadn't. And I know that Stats talked about it, that he did a lot of growing up this year. You didn't see him. I mean, he's still having good games, even though they're getting their ass kicked. They just didn't have, like you said, weapons. They didn't have anybody.
Nobody.
So,
but yeah, he already declared.
I still like
gone.
that. That Nicholas Harbor kid. He's still going to be something special before it's all said and done.
If he can figure out he should be on the defensive side of the ball, he will.
I'm
telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, if he stays at wide receiver, he's average at best.
I could have thought possibly tied in whenever they said that before the first game he was wide receiver. I had to stop for a second and rewind and make sure I heard it right.
That's the only reason South Carolina got him, because they said they would let him play receiver.
Like Dan Lanning at Oregon, Alabama, and Georgia both wanted him to play defensive end. He wants to run in the Olympics, so he can't put on the necessary muscle for defensive end if you're still trying to run in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that's gonna happen either. So,
man, somebody needs to get in his ear, his dad or somebody. Man, somebody talk to this kid.
Jeez. I'm telling you, man, like just his physical attributes alone. If he switches to DN and takes it serious, he's top 10 pick easy. Easy.
Size, his length, his speed, it's unreal.
Yeah, easy top 10 pick. So we'll see. I know Stat Guy's kind of hoping his track season doesn't go as well as he wants it to.
I remember Jeff George and Ryan Leaf. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure. Don't make us tell our
big arms. Big arms. Yeah. Ryan Leaf, you want to talk about between the ears?
Listen,
holy shit!
You talking about somebody that just flamed out. Like if you went by his college career, Ryan Leaf would have been one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history if you based it off of just the college career.
He was really good in the NFL until he went crazy.
Well, that was early on.
But I mean, a couple of years into, he was putting up numbers, man. He was putting up numbers.
Drugs are not good.
Brinsky Sharp, what's up, my dude? Sharp Shooters Podcast. Brinsky Sharp, what's up, my man? How you been?
What? Can y'all? Okay, I'm good. I'm good now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on, man? What's going on? I get on late at night, man. I'm just getting back home, man. Me and the family was out looking at lights.
Cool. We're just getting started, really. We're kind of just bouncing around talking about some different stuff we've been talking about. Well, there was a really good question in there. Asked about if you were going to build a quarterback out of guys from the past that you've seen, or what were their best attributes, who would it be?
Past 20 years.
A lot of names are going around. Past 20 years, yeah.
The past 20 years?
Yep. So just to give you an example, I said Tim Tebow's. You was watching?
Well, no, I wasn't watching, but you said the last 20 years. I already got my build already.
Oh, go ahead.
Shoot. You got to be built like Cam.
Oh, forget about Cam, huh? Oh, that's tough to do too. He was a bad dude.
My favorite college quarterback of all time, the speed of Pat White.
Oh, that's a good one.
Pat White was a bad dude too, man.
Yeah,
man. That's a great name.
I was a big Pat White fan, man. Arm strength. You don't really need nobody special for arm strength.
There's some different.
The only person I can think of off the top of my head right now is Ryan Mallett, like arm strength.
Wait, well, what about I had said earlier.
I'm trying to think of somebody.
Stafford.
No, but
Stafford had big arms. Carson Palmer.
No, but you said the last 20 years.
Yeah, Matt Stafford was last 20.
Yeah. No, but when he said Carson Palmer, Carson won it. But yeah, definitely Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford arm.
Jay Cutler had a big ass arm.
They ain't bigger than Matt Stafford.
I don't know.
That's debatable. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about it.
I'll be right back, fellas.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Ryan Mallett.
Yeah, that's what I thought about, man.
I forgot he passed away.
Damn, I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
I forgot he passed away too. He played at Louisville.
You know, I enjoyed watching. He brought up Pat White, which Pat White was a great one. Not necessarily what he did to our Sooners, but that's another story.
I was going to say the only thing that I don't like talking about Pat White because he wrecked Oklahoma that year. Shit.
Yeah. Man, I used to like the hell out of watching Seneca Wallace at Iowa State back in the day.
He was a stud too.
He was, man. God, dog. And I will say, thinking about this, he might be my favorite non-Sooner quarterback that I had no ties to. I just thoroughly enjoyed to watch play.
Yeah.
He was a baller.
Dude, he was. He was, man. And I mean, you know who else? Somebody that I remember, and I think it's been longer than 20 years, and somebody had brought him up, I think on Shawty's show last night, but dude, Charlie Ward. Bro.
Yeah.
That guy could go. Straight up go.
We were talking about heart a while ago. I don't think you're going to find a quarterback with more heart than Byron Leftwich.
Byron Leftwich, yeah, playing on a broken leg that day. They were carrying his ass down the field.
Yeah, because he didn't have the heart, but that right there, I said Tim Tebow, but Byron Leftwich, boy, you're not going to find anything more impressive than that.
How the hell did he end up at Marshall and never end up anywhere else? But I mean, he went in the first round anyway. Pretty wild, man.
Like
They've
they
had
always say.
two generational talent players go through Marshall with obviously Randy Moss and
Randy Moss, yeah.
They got lucky with Randy though.
Well, yeah.
Well, Randy kind of did it for him because he couldn't stay out of trouble. And
yeah, but it was the best thing that ever happened to him.
Charlie Ward won the
100%.
Heisman Trophy too, bro. in the
Greatest
national
thing that could
championship as a quarterback. You know why he didn't play in the league. Casey gonna bust my chops about that. I knew somebody was gonna bring up basketball. I knew it. Woody Dancer, unfortunately.
I said Pat White for speed, but now I'm thinking about it. I was like, nah, I probably want Kyler speed now. Kyler.
Yeah.
Or Lamar or Lamar Jackson.
But Kyler faster than Lamar. But either one, you can't go wrong with nobody.
I don't know that he's faster than that.
Kyler just annoyed me.
I don't even know if Michael Vick was faster than Lamar Jackson, man. Michael Vick.
Oh no, Michael Vick was faster than all of them. Michael Vick ran a 4.2, man.
He was ungodly. I remember watching him in the national championship game with Georgia Tech or Virginia Tech, and he was a freshman that year.
Yep.
They didn't win, but
he had to mess it up with fighting some damn dogs.
Yeah, man.
He cheated us. That's what I'm sorry about them, but he cheated us, and I'm not going to forgive him for that.
Hey, that's a fair.
You gotta forgive him, man.
Yeah, hey, listen.
No, I forgive him for his mistakes. I don't forgive him for cheating me from being able to watch him and tell my kids that this is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play.
I feel like if he got around somebody, Michael Vick playing in this day and time would be cheating. It would just be cheating.
He was cheating in his day and time, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like if he had the right.
He can end the game right now. I remember that game in Green Bay. He just takes off, dude, in there in overtime. He takes off. It's 70-yard play. And it's like they shot him out of a fucking cannon. It was just unbelievable. I'll tell you another guy, college football-wise, one of the best that I don't think people talk about him enough anymore. Sam Bradford was unbelievable.
I didn't want to be the one to drop it, but imagine him with Tim Tebow's durability and game over.
Right. Oh, bro, that flip that he had against Okie Lite in that game, he literally tries to jump over a guy and gets flipped over and lands on his head. And he just popped right back up. It was nothing. That dude, if he'd had a little more durability in the league, but he played pretty well for the time that he was there.
Well, it's kind of like go to Andrew Luck. I look at it and Matt Stafford was brought up. These elite generational quarterbacks that come out, they're at a disadvantage because they're going to the worst league. And what is the reason that they're usually bad? The O-line cannot protect the quarterback. So these great guys are coming out and they can't do squat because they have nobody to protect for them. So it's nice that further on down the line, like a Joe Burrow comes in and he's just lighting it up.
Another great.
There's a reason.
Quarterback.
Well, he was. I'm getting like that's not common now. Yeah. But at first he was. He came out. He got fortunate. But who was the other one? The kid at L.A. Chargers, Herbert. Whenever these guys are coming out, Patrick Mahomes, he wasn't. It was a mid-round. He came to a pretty well-estabed team. Going to the right system, he's got protection.
Jamarcus.
But that's still though. He's
But I see what you're saying. But he was at.
But
go ahead. My fault.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm about to say he was pretty much just coming to a well-oiled machine. He just took it to another level, especially having Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid there. They let him. He had time to just sit down for that year, and then the team was his. But the one thing that bothers me about, go ahead.
No. With Andrew Luck, though, his career was cut short because he came out first overall pick, no protection, just took a beating game in, game out. Same thing was happening to Baker Mayfield up there in Cleveland. Kyler Murray, what's he been dealing with? Injuries. Lamar Jackson,
Baker was on two dumpster fire freaking football program. Those organizations are so bad. And then as soon as he got over to Sean McVay, look how great he was. And Now
exactly. But again,
it's not good, man.
Another well-oiled machine, though. You know what I'm saying? But that's my point. These elite quarterbacks like Caleb Williams, if he goes to the Bears, a number 1 overall, for example, guess what? He's going to have a rough go because that team is not set up to all they need. It's not a plug-and-play type system, not like Lamar Jackson went to or Pat Mahomes. I mean, we're going to need it. I mean, I wouldn't want to go number 1, just to be honest. That money, yeah, sure, it's going to be great, but I want longevity. And if you're a number 1 pick, wish I knew there's got to be a graphic somewhere, but the longevity from a number 1 pick quarterback compared to a mid to late round quarterback, see how long their careers last, because I'm telling you, they take beatings. David David Carr. He was the number 2 pick, I think, or was he the number 1 pick?
No, they were number 1. They were both number 1, weren't they? Houston, it was David Carr. Yes, David Carr at Houston.
But just like him, like I said, man, these top 5 pick quarterbacks, man, they just take and I'm telling you, I've noticed their careers are not the same.
The worst thing that I was talking since we talking about Pat Mahomes and all them. The one thing that bothers me about that draft the most, and I said it on Ty's show, was that they kept hyping up Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh,
and when you had,
can you imagine that Trubisky went before Mahomes, Deshaun Watson? Yeah, unbelievable.
Me being an Alabama fan and seeing Deshaun Watson 2 years in a row in the national championship game. That showed you right there how great he played against us. That should have been your pick right there. And these fools just kept hyping up Mitchell Trubisky. I said, if they are crazy enough to pick this man, they're gonna be fired within 3 to 4 years.
Who was number 1 in that class? Who?
What class was that?
Oh, that is such. Oh, I gotta look that one up. I always forget. Now that's the part I always forget about.
Class chat.
Because Mitchell Trubisky was number 2.
I know, but I'm trying to remember who was 1.
Miles Garrett.
Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't a quarterback.
I have to look that up. I don't
know. Quarterback.
Probably Miles Garrett.
We're chanting for Rudy up here in Pittsburgh. Yeah, hey, Dak was the steal, man. He was the steal, and they hated him.
It was Miles.
Cowboys fans can't.
Yep, it was Miles Garrett. Yep,
Miles Garrett. Can you imagine now Deshaun Watson with everything that happened in Houston? I'm not a fan, but he was a bad dude.
But going back talking about Mitch Trubisky, I think Carson Wentz was just getting juiced up like crazy. Then you had old boy from North Dakota that went to San Francisco. Where's he at? What's he doing these days?
He's in Dallas.
Yeah. Brady Quinn. Brady. Yeah. That's who it was. Trey Lance. But Brady Quinn, he got hyped.
Brock Purdy's getting it done, man. And he was like he was 7th. I think he was the very last guy I picked. And
he was Mr. Irrelevant.
Hey, he's about to win the MVP, bro. He's about to win the MVP.
San Francisco got a good program organization, man.
You gonna tell me that Purdy ain't a bad dude?
All I'm saying is, wasn't Garoppolo doing good things with San Francisco?
I
wish Lamar Jackson can get those type of weapons. I wish
Lamar Jackson could hit a pass.
Hey, there will be no LJ slander on that.
I'm about to say, you see how many times look who's dropping the ball, man. Well, I can't even think.
I say whatever the hell I want, Coach I.
Hey, speaking on him though, I seen it the other day, and I like don't Lamar, usually give this man props.
But he can't hit the bar inside of a barn, guys. Come on.
Well, I like Odell Beckham, man. I'm going to give him props. He is he's kind of turned around, and I'm going to give him props. I don't usually do that. I usually hate on the man.
I was fixing to say, man, that's Baker's hate. I mean, he tore Baker down, ruined him.
Good.
Nah. I've seen how he's done these last 3 games.
Right there. Because this is my show. Don't be talking about here.
I said Baker got one of the best names ever, man. Just sounds like a good ice cream.
And you know,
like ice cream.
What made
company.
him great though is he's that competitor, dude. I've never liked it when they compared him to Johnny because they're not the guy. That's not the same thing.
He's a better passer than Johnny.
Much better, but he's just such a competitor. He carried that chip on his shoulder, and it works for him. You put that chip on his shoulder, he's gonna beat your ass. You know, a walk-on, twice walk-on, and he was a 3-time Heisman finalist, man. You can say what you want. Baker was one of the best.
Oh man, I like Baker.
Man, I found myself getting defensive over old Cam Newton, people bashing on him, and
I can't
I've seen something just the other day.
Cam Newton, bro.
People be hating on Cam Newton, man. Like Cam Newton wasn't that dude, man.
Let me tell you something.
17-1
in 2010,
the Super Bowl.
I hated that man to death. I
hated
that man so bad.
Winner though, and won an MVP and played in the Super Bowl. I mean, it just doesn't happen, man. Until somebody else does that.
Well, Joe
and
Burrow
then your number one receiver is they were talking about Ted.
No, he didn't win MVP. You're right.
They went 15-1.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
He won MVP that year.
Yeah. Who did? Burrow?
He won.
No, I'm talking about Cam.
Cam Newton.
I'm talking about he went 15-1. They won the MVP.
Like he was the team, bro. I'm like, man.
Yeah, his best receiver was Ted Ginn. He had like 800 yards. It was his best year.
And Kelvin Benjamin. And we see how that turned out. Give him some weapons. That is literally his best weapons his whole time in Carolina, outside of older Steve Smith.
Well, and then when McCaffrey got there, but then by then Cam was getting hurt or McCaffrey was hurt. It was at that point.
Yeah, it was just inconsistent by them.
But they never gave him imagine him with Steve Smith whenever Steve was still good. Oh.
Dangerous.
Why whenever he said Kelvin Benjamin and then he said give that man some weapons, I thought he was still talking about Kelvin Benjamin was going to say give that man some biscuits. Because that's exactly what popped in my mind. Hey, I'm not even kidding. I wish I was because I like Kelvin Benjamin coming out of college.
Man, he just let himself go, man. I don't even know what happened to Kelvin Benjamin, man.
I still remember when Parcells said that our boy Roy was a biscuit short of being a linebacker. He said he's a biscuit away from being a linebacker. Boy, Superman Williams. That dude. Yeah, he made the College Hall of Fame last year.
Who made it?
Roy Williams.
Oh, Roy.
Mm-hmm. Superman Roy, man.
Hey, well, talking about
defensive play in Oklahoma history right there.
I
know who they lost to in that championship.
Hey, man, stop that.
Didn't I just tell him to watch his mouth?
I forgot where I was, man.
I seen a picture of Colin Simmons. He was standing next to Micah Parsons. That kid's bigger than Micah Parsons. He ain't even played it down in college yet. Ain't even graduated. I seen that today on his mom's Twitter. I'm just going to say right now, I don't like he's going to Texas.
Man, I'm telling you right now,
Marcus Russell diet.
I just came from a middle school basketball game. It was an 8th grader, like he could start D tackle for a couple of G5s, bro. Right now.
8th grader. 8th grade.
Hey, great footwork too.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
They built different, man.
Hey, they are.
I'm trying to remember that kid's name whenever I was a basketball official back in the day. He played at Michigan, defensive tackle guy. They won the Rose Bowl. He played in the league for a while. Oh, man, what's his name? The kid could ball. He was huge. I mean, 325 in high school, big boy. But I mean, dude was shooting threes. You know, he had nice moves, footwork. It's just you knew. Those are the dudes you can tell this is a real athlete. When you're 6'5", 6'6", 350, and you can handle the rock and shoot the three and just and go dunk it on somebody's head too. Dudes are just another. That's gonna be Nigel Smith, man. I'm telling you, Nigel Smith. Wait and see.
That's when it's unfair.
Yeah, it is unfair. Those are those dudes, man. It's those dudes. I remember Coach had one of his coaches here. He had played at Texas with he was Ricky Williams' roommate. Defensive end. He got a cup of coffee in the league. I'm trying to remember. His name was Antoine Kirkhughes. This dude, so Coach's high school team here, he had probably one of the fastest kids in the state as his running back. And he was talking trash to Antoine. Antoine had like some baggy ass freaking sweats on, and shoes weren't even, his shoes weren't even tied or nothing. And they ran a 100-meter race. He beat the hell out of this kid. And the kid ran like a 4.3. This is a freaking defensive end at Texas. Unbelievable. Dude, they just make, some guys are just different,
That's it, man. Some guys are just different, dog.
They're just different. They built it. And that's what we talk about, all these guys in the trenches, and everybody needs them, especially in the SEC. And we can get into some of this SEC schedule talk too. But God makes less of those cats, man. If you get them, you better hold on, because God makes less of them. Those dudes that are that guy, Man.
It's just unfair.
Zach Henderson from the 70s, only freshman safety to start for Bobby Proctor while he was a secondary coach. And from the 70s, I was born in the 70s, Mike. I still got to go back and watch it. We're going to have to watch some Selman Brothers film on one of these shows one night. All right. Coach I, you've been editing video and putting them out all day from your show last night, but let's talk a little bit about, we're all SEC guys in here now, so let's talk about the schedules and what you think about them. I got a few things to say about Texas's schedule, so I'll leave that for the end, but
okay.
Coach
I'll kick it off.
Georgia's got one of the tougher schedules. Everybody talking all that shit this year about how it wasn't, but
I think Georgia's kind of definitely, let's see, we got 16 teams. I would definitely say Georgia's in the top half of the conference in difficulty. I think Florida's got the toughest schedule. We would have to look and see and think about how good the teams were, but definitely the hardest schedule in college football in the last 20 years. Definitely. Like their last 6 games is ridiculously hard.
Insane, man. Right. Their first 6 aren't bad.
Yeah, and it's not just the teams that are on it, because everybody's playing, some semblance of every team. All the same teams, but it's where they are. Like, I think Alabama, of the elite, so-called elite teams, 2 playoff teams, Alabama, Texas, they got the a schedule that's more easier to navigate. I'll say that. I'm not gonna say it's easy, because Alabama and Texas.
You think Alabama's are easier, or both of them have easy ones?
Not easy schedules, easy to navigate, because like when they play, before they play Georgia, they have a bye. Before they play the next team, they have
Texas doesn't have a bye before Georgia. They got Oklahoma, but
no, I'm talking about Alabama.
Texas
Yeah. So Alabama has like 3 byes before. Now they do have a hard end to the schedule where they play Auburn the last week. And then right before they play Auburn, I think they play Oklahoma, something like that. But other than that, anytime they play a decent team, it's either a cupcake or a bye. Yeah. So I'm not saying they have an easy schedule. I'm saying like how the games are placed matters too. You know what I'm saying? So,
of course.
Damn, the disrespect.
No. I'm just like the schedule is what it is.
Man, if you consider. Have y'all seen y'all schedule this year?
I didn't say. Did I say your schedule? Hold on. Did I say your schedule was easy though?
I know. I'm just messing.
I didn't say your schedule was easy. It's easy to navigate. Our schedule was easy to navigate in the beginning, but then we end up playing 4 top 25 teams back to back to back to back. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying. I don't think anybody has an easy schedule because it's the SEC. We just added Texas.
No, I'm going to correct. I'm gonna correct you on that. You evidently haven't went and looked at Missouri's schedule yet.
I mean, we did them all. I think some are easier than others, but I don't know about easy.
That Missouri's, I mean, I'm telling you right now, I looked at it and we can't find an easier schedule in the conference. I don't think.
You want to bet?
So
Texas.
Okay.
Look
so
at it now.
I'm not going to disagree with that. What I'm saying is, just because it's the easiest in the SEC doesn't mean it's an easy schedule. That's two different things. Saying it's an easy schedule is different than being easier than everybody else's. Like right now, you can say you can beat me in a 100-yard dash. That doesn't mean you're fast because I can't run fast. So it's different.
Well,
I mean,
I get that.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I'm
this
saying that some are
in the SEC. It's
I don't know about Mizzou.
I'm not
I don't know about Mizzou.
We're talking just SEC.
The SEC portion of the schedule only. There's nobody that has it easier than freaking Texas. Nobody.
Right?
There's nobody that has it easier than Texas. Let me tell you, and I'll give it to you right here. Just to go, I'll give you the stats to back up what I'm saying. I don't just say stuff. I ain't like stat guy without stats. So
yeah, I'm looking at
you look at their First off, they only have 3 road games the whole year.
No, they don't. They got 4.
No, they don't.
I'm looking at it.
Hold on, I got them all.
Texas. I was looking at it too.
They got at Michigan. Never mind. Vanderbilt, Arkansas, and Texas A&M.
Let me see if I can put the graphic up and then we can go through it.
I was fixing to pull it up right now. I've got it right here.
Oh, I was about to say I just added it. If you wanted to put it.
Okay. Oh, is it there?
Yeah. So let's go to who were we talking about? Who were we talking about? Texas. Okay. Yeah, they're in alphabetical order. So all right. Look at this.
The at Michigan. Okay, so it's 4 because of Michigan. I thought that was a home game. Is it? Are you sure it's not a home game?
No, that's at.
They're at Michigan. Yeah.
It's at the big house. Okay, so I messed that up. Okay, well,
all the games are right on all the slides except for that LSU Oklahoma. I had that home game for Oklahoma.
But I'm going to tell you this part. Okay, so I played for that. You know, they might lose 3 games. They might lose to Oklahoma. They might lose to Georgia, and they might lose to Michigan. Nobody else is going to come close to them because they got Mississippi State. They open with them at home. Then they get their bye week before the Red River. Then they get Georgia. Now that's their tough stretch.
Exactly.
On the road, those 2 games. That's it though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Yeah, I'm in agreement.
On the road at Vanderbilt, who went 2-10. Bye week, home against a terrible Florida team. On the road to a terrible Arkansas team that got worse because they just lost Rocket Sanders and freaking KJ.
Yeah.
And then home to Kentucky, on the road at an A&M team that's liable to be depleted and never beats Texas anyway.
See, that's what I'm saying. And that's what plays.
Their conference schedule has a combined 52 wins. 21 of those are Georgia and Oklahoma.
And that's what I mean when I say, you can navigate it easy because it's not that they don't have teams on the schedule, but they get Georgia at home. They're used to playing the neutral. They play the neutral side against Oklahoma every year, so that can't be like, oh, that's such a hard. It's not an easy game, but they're used to that. The one outlier is going to Michigan. Other than that, they play UTSA, Louisiana Monroe, Colorado State. That's like. They get Mississippi State at home. They get Florida at home. They get Kentucky at home. Arkansas and Vandy are the cupcakes right now. And then you get like Texas A&M right after playing. That's an easy schedule comparatively.
That is.
Bro.
That's
combined wins, total wins, even 52 of them. And 21 of those wins came from Oklahoma and Texas for this season.
Now,
and Nick, you can say whatever the hell you want. But Oklahoma was going to be playing Georgia until it got canceled by the SEC, and Oklahoma beat you. So don't talk too much there, Mr. Texas.
So with Missouri, I'm not saying that each team is a murderer's row, but they have to travel. First, they play Texas at Texas A&M. They get UMass. Why they're going to UMass? I'm still stop Power Fives. Stop scheduling at UMass and at South Florida. We don't want to see that. But they get a little break with UMass. They play Auburn at home, not a given. They got to go to Alabama. Then they get a bye, but then they have to play Oklahoma at home, who's owned them. Yeah. They got to go to South Carolina, who they split with every other year. They got to go to Mississippi State. That's what I'm saying. This schedule is definitely not easier than Texas's.
It's not easier than Texas's, but it's not. Because they actually.
I'll concede to that. But that's still, though, I mean, that's not a tough schedule. I mean, yeah, they've got Alabama, Oklahoma, and at South Carolina.
I agree. But I'm just like, they're not the easiest in the conference, though. And you got to take the team itself in consideration as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hold Texas higher than Missouri. So
how long has Texas had the Michigan game scheduled? For about 5 years now. Probably. These games don't they schedule them way out in advance. If you get a game pulled like what happened with OU in Georgia, you have to replace with whoever you can.
Yeah.
Hey, but like what Coach I said, you got to take the team into consideration. But boy, I went to a post today that had the Missouri schedule. It popped up on my timeline, and they're saying 11-1, 12-0. The only team that might beat by is Alabama. That was it. I'm not gonna lie, I had to bookmark that.
You know, they're going based off of how they played this year, and so if they play like that next year, then I can see that. But I mean, we haven't seen that kind of consistency from Missouri over the years, so we still have to hold Missouri in the middle of the road category. So some of those games that they think are automatic wins because they're Mizzou fans aren't really automatic wins. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, Mizzou played better than South Carolina this year, but if you look at the history since they came in, they kind of split, you know. So when they go to South Carolina, that's not a given win for them. Now, if you're talking about Alabama going to South Carolina, you can say, oh, well, they just got South Carolina because it's Alabama. Alabama's going to beat South Carolina more times than not. So like with Alabama's schedule, you know, Western Kentucky, South Florida, you go to Wisconsin, which is a hard game, but it's sandwiched in between a bye and South Florida and Western Kentucky. Then you get Georgia off of a bye. Then you go to Cupcake Vandy. Then you play South Carolina at home. You go to Tennessee, but you play South Carolina at home. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. And then you got to play LSU, but you get a bye before LSU. The hardest stretch is that Oklahoma, Auburn, and they dominate Auburn in Tuscaloosa. So that's not even, I don't think, a hard game. So that's what I'm saying. They have good teams on the schedule, but where they're placed strategically to the schedule, I'd be surprised if Alabama ain't 11-1, 12-0, and maybe Oklahoma can pull off something, but I don't see. I don't know. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm counting Georgia as a loss for Georgia in Tuscaloosa at 7:30 at night. Like it's. I don't see us going to Tuscaloosa and winning that at night.
I'm glad you understand.
I mean, if it was in Athens, I would pick Georgia. So
I mean, would you?
Oh man, listen. Alabama just don't lose at home, and then you're gonna give us a 7:30 game. I feel like the SEC they kind of stuck it to us. You know what I'm saying?
Man, y'all may come in there and get us.
I don't know, man. It's just. Again, like I say, you take the teams in consideration. You to look at Alabama, the program, and then you compare them. And I say Wisconsin, they're a good program. I don't know about a good team.
They're not really good right now, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I personally think Alabama gonna go up there and beat them by 3 touchdowns. But
probably, yeah. And I mean, I think that they've got a good coach, but they haven't had time to put.
They don't have the Jimmys and Joes, though.
They're gonna be his second year.
Exactly.
Aren't they getting the kid from Miami, the quarterback from Miami? I thought that was
Van Dyke. Man, we're gonna kill Van Dyke.
Thank you.
Hey, so Wisconsin seemed like they were stacking up quarterbacks the same as Ole Miss last year, and the fact that they're still taking and chasing quarterbacks in the portal, that's pretty telling to me. I'm not too concerned about Wisconsin for the foreseeable future.
I like Phil Longo, but apparently they're not getting it done. And I don't know that offense doesn't really play in the cold weather like that.
Yep. And see, like another benefit of the schedule for Oklahoma is they play Alabama late. You starting a new quarterback next year. If this game, Oklahoma, November 23rd, was September the 7th, might not be good for you. You know what I'm saying? But then you got a whole season to get Jackson on or ready to go and to play Alabama at home. So that's how the schedule.
I know he's no Arch Manning, but I think he'll be all right.
I'm just saying, first, you don't want
that was sarcasm, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I don't know if you want Alabama at the beginning of the season.
No. I'll be honest, I don't want Alabama ever, but I'm looking forward to it.
No, if you're gonna catch us, I think if Texas caught us like the 5th or 6th game, we will beat Texas. Texas caught us at the perfect time this year.
The difference is next year y'all know who y'all are. See, y'all didn't know who y'all was when Texas played y'all. You know what I'm saying?
That's a true statement. That's definitely a true statement.
But now Miro and you know, the OC and Nick, they all on one accord now, so they just kind of rolling. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's gonna be a different.
Totally agree.
It's gonna be a different September for Alabama this year than it was this past year.
Thanks.
Now I'm not taking that from Texas for Texas fans watching. Y'all, he's making excuses.
I got lucky as shit.
You beat them head up. I'm all about that. You beat them head up, whatever.
Yeah,
you know they beat nature.
I mean, come on, man. They didn't play nobody else. They freaking. I mean, K-State. If they just make a freaking extra point, they're not in the playoff either. They want to sit around and talk smack all the time.
Man, no. F that, man. They at the 6-yard line and it's 1st and goal, and you telling me you can't get 6 yards? And
they had to get 4 still on 4th down, and they run a play that takes all kids like a 7-step drop.
That's why
I didn't understand the call.
Yeah, and then when old boy jumped in the Porter Howard, I was just like, that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, man, you couldn't get 6 yards, man. 6 yards. That was some of the worst play calling.
Lincoln Riley will polish him up.
Yeah. Mike Dub says once the SEC starts, does OU have a tougher schedule? Well, listen, they got a tougher schedule than Texas just from the starters. From the starters.
You got
Tennessee. Listen, you got Tennessee at home. Again, I feel like because Oklahoma's playing at home, they should be favored in that game. But if
they will, but it's not like that's an easy win, man.
That's what I'm saying. If it was at Tennessee, Tennessee would be favored in that game. At Auburn, again, Oklahoma's the better team. But if that's a night game at Auburn, again, I think you should want to play Auburn when they're actually good, because then their heads are in the clouds. But when they ain't got nothing to lose, you can see it. You saw what they did with Georgia and Alabama because they had nothing to lose.
Just don't believe in it, man. I keep trying to tell them, man, it's that stadium, man. You're going to learn, man.
And then you got Texas on the neutral field, followed by South Carolina at the house. And then you got to go to Ole Miss, that's where Ole Miss plays their best football at home. They don't play good on the road. So,
sorry, Coach. Go ahead.
Oh, you good. Then you get a break, get Maine, and then at Missouri. I think, again, you guys may have the better roster. I think this is a different Missouri than you guys used to beat up on. I'm not saying that means you're going to lose, but that's a tough game. Then you got Alabama,
that's
LSU.
Missouri. That's Missouri. I ain't giving them no credit. That's Missouri.
And that's fine. I'm just being real, though. Like I'm not saying that you're going to lose. I'm just saying that's not an easy game. You may still beat them.
That'll only happen once every 10 years.
That South Carolina game look like it's gonna be a tough one, man. The way they building.
It's at home though. That's the good thing.
Yeah.
They
don't know who their quarterback
and cry the whole time whenever he's gonna be crying in his beard.
And then you finish with Alabama at home, and I missed that's at LSU. I didn't put that. So that's a tough. I mean, LSU's defense ain't the same. I don't know what's going on with Brian Kelly and that.
They definitely gonna be better next year.
Yeah, but at LSU, you don't want that at night. I'm telling you, if it's at night, you can have the better team. I'm taking LSU. LSU at night, it just don't happen.
I just think LSU, they're losing a lot. They're losing a Heisman quarterback. I think they're going to take a step back. And like y'all said, that defense, something's going on there. I think next year they're going to be struggling.
Yeah, because I don't like Brian Kelly, so.
I'm not high on him since he left. I actually was higher on him at Notre Dame. I don't know. It's like their teams played tougher when he was at Notre Dame. They don't play real tough.
And Brian Kelly is an asshole.
But that could be true too.
That is facts.
Yeah, but I just did not like how he ever since he left Cincinnati to go take the Notre Dame job and watch them boys get their ass whooped in the Sugar Bowl.
Real quick. I'm gonna pull this one up there. So let's go. All right. So Oklahoma, Their combined record, 76 wins is the combined record, or how many wins you have from just conference teams. They averaged the conference schedule for OU averaged 8.9 wins. They're playing Alabama, a 10-win freaking Ole Miss team on the road, a 10-win Mizzou team on the road. Auburn went 6-6. And I mean, you guys are going to tell us all about Jordan Hare. So, I mean, and Hugh Freeze is there. Look,
and
they had 52 total wins in their conference schedule, and 21 of those come from Georgia and Oklahoma.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I told you before I saw the dates, I said that Texas got the easier schedule between y'all and them. Yep. Easy. That was easy.
You're home. Yeah. The away games against Vandy, Arkansas, and freaking A&M. Don't tell me how great you guys are. Nobody's gonna know. They're trying to prop you up apparently, but
hey, you better get it while the getting's
good. You better get it while the getting's good, Texas.
just as a football fan, I'd like to catch that Texas and A&M game though. I think that'd be.
I think that's gonna be so. I think that's gonna be real heated, dog. Real heated.
Yeah. Hey, I ain't got a dog in the fight. I just want to sit back.
Exactly. Just them not playing each other in years.
That's how that West Virginia Pitt game was 2 years ago. It's like they hadn't played in a long time, and then they played. It was like, bruh, it was crazy. I think that's how it's gonna be too. It's at Texas A&M. That's gonna be raucous.
Joe, I get it. Yeah, you expect to beat Mizzou, but here's the thing: they had 10 wins, and they've got Luther Burden is a freaking problem. They're big. They're gonna have apparently Williams Winery and possibly Caden Green. They're not gonna get worse.
Drink is a weird guy, bro. Drink is a weird guy, but he can coach. And again, I'm not saying that y'all are gonna lose. I'm just saying the game's gonna be. Just because you win, don't mean the game ain't tough.
We had some tough games when they had Chase Daniels back in the day, picking his boogers and all. So they're capable of it. But
like I say, I would consider that a formidable game on the
Jordan Hare, I think. Sacrifice a live chicken before we go to Jordan Hare or what?
Y'all better do something, man. I'm trying to tell you. You don't believe it, man. That's why I've been on your head about that, man. You don't believe it.
It's our first time to go there. Why would we care?
You're going there with the better team, man. And it's like, what is going on?
I'm trying to tell you, man. It's different when you go in there. And then y'all a new opponent in the SEC. And y'all don't believe nothing. Okay, they're gonna be.
You can come in, you can come out with the win, but
you're gonna be frustrated.
I'd be highly surprised if you go in there and play like an A+ game against Auburn at Auburn.
Look, man, and maybe and I don't necessarily doubt it. I'm just telling you, it's never happened to Oklahoma. Why should they think about anything like that? Why should they think about that at all?
Okay,
you don't want that in your head before you go into a game over there. Why would you even?
Yeah.
Just go see what's up. Oh, look. There he is. Oh, you played 6 teams this season that played G5 football. Okay. Hey, look. So what? They beat Oklahoma. They beat Texas. They beat Texas, bro.
Committee said head-to-head matters.
Head-to-head matters. Yeah, it didn't matter for you guys.
That's what they told us. The head-to-head matters, dog.
Still throw them down.
They better pray.
I mean, of course, I'm wearing the shirt.
Mm-hmm. I got a hat right behind me.
What did the shirt say?
Well, I mean, y'all can. Oh, it's the Teddy Lehman. Texas sucks.
Oh, okay.
I know. When you first put it up, all the camera caught was Texas.
And that's why I was like, wait a minute now. I was like, how you got an Oklahoma flag and a Texas shirt?
Made me have to bust out the hat.
Whew. Okay.
Oh, right? I was thinking the same thing, dog.
Schedule.
Oh, nice hat.
It is a tough schedule, and as a being in the Big 12, it's always been Oklahoma and Texas, and then you occasionally get a straggler that can kind of compete. Missouri, Nebraska back in the day. Texas A&M, not so much, not after the late 90s, but looking at our schedule, yeah, it's a tough schedule, but I'm looking forward to it, man. That's what you want to go to the SEC for. I don't think Oklahoma's going to go in there, watch through it, and just do what they do. But I'm looking forward to, facing the Alabamas, going to Ole Miss, going to LSU, having Tennessee. I mean, that's exciting. If you love football, you're going to be excited for those weekends, And now, I got the big games, Alabama's games, Georgia's, Florida's, with Georgia when they match up. But now I want to follow all of them because now we're a part of it. So now it just means more, right? Just to watch them, it means more too.
Hey, as a football fan, man, you can't not like it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That they just showed today, like for the Georgia and Alabama game, like of a 35-mile radius, all the hotels are booked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I started looking, man. And I'm like, God, I'm gonna have to stay in.
You better get an Airbnb.
Listen, I'm gonna try to see if our distribution center down there in Tuscaloosa needs some IT help.
Hey,
Stat guy, October 9th. Bro, you told me that I was supposed to worry about Tulsa this year too.
Hey man, Stat guy Beamer is on a roll in the portal, and Stat guy is this is what happens. He's realistic until the off season hits, and that's South Carolina fans, and then they get a lot of good news, and the feeling is good. So you're gonna hear a lot of that in the off season. Just to let you know that. Both games that I want to go to, that I'm planning on going to, are like already either booked up, or like they got the Formula One Grand Prix going on in Austin. So I'm staying in San Antonio that week when we play Texas. Tuscaloosa, like I said, it's looking like Montgomery right now. My idea have to stay in Starkville. Hey, you got to do what you got to do to get there, man. The ticket's going to be ridiculous. I've never been to Alabama Stadium, so I'm looking forward to it.
Nick, why are you getting all butt hurt, dude? They're going to Michael Penix's going to torch that sorry-ass secondary, too. Y'all are going to get worked.
So Nick V is a Texas fan?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh,
he hadn't shut up since he got here.
Oh, shout out Nick V.
Hey,
shout out Nick V.
I've seen a graphic earlier talking about the differences in the defenses, though. Texas is way up there compared to Washington. So, I think they're going to have a tough time with that, the offense. But
their secondary doesn't have.
I think it's going to be a good game.
The best receiving core in the country, and there's no secondary at Texas.
I think it's going to be a good game.
But what I'm
I
saying,
just don't know if Texas can score with them like that.
Maybe.
I don't think their defense can stop Texas, though. That's the problem.
Their defense is a lot better the last 4 weeks of the year. They were better than they had been. I mean, they were trash before that. But
the way Steve Sarkisian calls plays, it's not there. I'm not saying he's not trying to score, but they don't put up a ton of points. Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like no matter who they play.
Oh no, check down Quinn too.
I can tell you this. Washington's defense is as good as Oklahoma State's defense, and what Texas scored on them 49. That was like the highest they scored all year or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna disrespect Washington like that. Oklahoma State's trash.
Oklahoma State is trash.
I think Texas got a good squad. They got some receivers, but they ain't got as many as Washington though. And at the end of the day, they're gonna have to outscore Washington. I just don't see it.
I hope you're right. I'll sacrifice that chicken every week.
No sacrifice chicken. No sacrifice.
I don't know about for college football, Orca, but it damn sure not be good for an Oklahoma fan. You know that.
As of right now, I got Washington winning it all.
You got
Washington. I think Bama.
Washington beating Bama.
Yeah, I got Bama.
What the heck? I don't know. Let's just say hypothetically, we playing Washington in the national championship game. What make you think Washington gonna beat us?
Y'all gonna be able to stop Washington?
You said stop who?
Washington. Y'all gonna be able to stop them?
We have the best secondary in the country.
We don't have the receivers that Washington got, and we was navigating pretty decent. I mean, we scored 24, and I think their offense is way better than ours. Their offense is better than Georgia's, right?
Georgia offensive line is better than Washington.
I can say that.
Michael Penix is not going to have that time to do anything. When Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell coming off them edges to come get him.
All I'm saying is Washington going to be a different team on that turf on the inside, dog. I'm just saying.
I love Michael Penix.
And it's not like, listen, man, it's not like Alabama's offensively prolific.
That's the thing, but you at like, okay. Let's see how can I put this. I don't see them stopping us on offense at all. They haven't seen nobody like Jalen Milroe all year.
Like as in running the ball?
Running and passing. Because you got to be honest. I mean, with him the whole game.
Hold on. They play in the Pac-12 and they ain't seen nobody that can pass as good as Jalen Milroe. They played against Cam Ward. They played against Bo Nix. They played against.
I don't respect the Pac-12.
Quarterback play.
Yeah, stop. The quarterback play. The Pac-12 is the best in the country.
That's cute to say. That's nice. I believe. Now, if you ask me, do they got the best quarterbacks out there? Yes, I can say they got the best quarterbacks. I'm not saying that they got trash quarterbacks.
Well, you said they hadn't seen nobody like Jalen Milroe, and I asked you what aspect.
Yeah, but but in both. As in, are they going to?
He can't throw the ball like the top 6 quarterbacks in the Pac-12. Dog, stop that! Come on.
The top 6.
I mean, Caleb Williams and Bo Nix.
Name the quarterbacks that Jalen Milroe can throw better than in the top half of the Pac-12. Throw better than. Come on, bro. You got to be watching some football now.
I'm not really. Cam Ward is cool, I guess.
Cam Ward's good, but Washington State was trash, though.
I'm not saying the team was good. We talking about quarterback.
I'm literally just talking about the player.
And Michael Penix is he's got the best receiving core in the country, and they're going up against the worst secondary in this playoff by a lot. They're gonna pepper them up. Watch.
And you think that's what I'm trying to understand. Like, what do you think that Michael Penix is going to do when he's not going to have time to?
How many points was Texas not able to move the ball on y'all? That had nothing to do. With y'all.
Texas
deep passes on Alabama.
But if you remember the game, Jalen Milroe threw 2 interceptions. Critical interception. We were leading. It ain't like Texas was just moving the ball the whole game. 2 interceptions that cost us 14 points that was in our territory.
But you can say that for any game, though.
No. You said were they moving the ball? I'm telling you how they got down there.
How many yards did they have in that game? I don't have it up.
They had the yardage. They threw it. Okay.
Listen, to get yardage, you have to move the ball.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. The one to Xavier Worthy, that was a good throw. That was one of the best throws all year by any quarterback, by Quinn Ewers. You take away those 2 interceptions. I mean, not take away, but those 2 interceptions that was already in our territory, and it wasn't like they were moving it. That's 21 points right there. Then I remember we got them down to the 10. Yeah. They drove on that drive. I'm about to say we had a lot of 3 and outs more than anything. It wasn't like they were moving the ball. They had the ball a lot. That was it.
Because your offense isn't that prolific, which gives the other team more chances.
That was then.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm telling you right now.
All I'm saying, this is the thing. They haven't seen a defense like y'all, but y'all haven't seen an offense like Washington. Y'all have not seen an offense.
I'm gonna ask you this. So you said Texas was moving the ball on us, correct? You said Texas was moving the ball on us, right?
Y'all deep. Y'all were hitting y'all deep. Yeah, they were. I mean,
is Caleb Downs the same Caleb Downs week 2?
No.
No,
that's the only thing I gotta say. Hey, who were they kept attacking?
Texas gets their ass beat by Washington in the first one, and I think that Alabama's going to beat Washington though. I don't think that Washington can hold
but that's what I'm saying. You think, but who did they keep attacking in that game the most? Caleb Downs every time.
Okay.
Everybody else
is not making a mistake on Michael Penix because he's better than Quinn.
The two best offenses y'all played,
but
I'd have to.
But
say
Michael Penix ain't got the best play caller in the country.
His offensive coordinator literally is one of the better offensive coordinators in the country. Dog,
you think Michael Penix's offensive coordinator is better than Steve Sarkisian?
He's right there with him.
No. Ain't no right. Is he better?
Hold on. What are we talking about?
Okay, first of all, yes, I think if you ask me which one I want, give me either one. But this is what I'm saying. So you got Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is all that. I think Kool-Aid McKitchery is all that. I think Terrion Arnold, he above average. He ain't elite. He above average. He ain't elite.
You might be talking about Terrion last year.
Okay, so y'all got three good DBs, right?
Terrion Arnold.
Okay, let's consider him elite. You got three good DBs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Texas has three pass catchers that are elite. So you can match up with them. Bro, Washington can give away three wide receivers and still have like 4 or 5 elite pass catchers. So who's covering guy 4 and 5?
You're gonna have Trey Amos and you're gonna have Malachi Moore.
I know you're not about to tell me Malachi Moore is elite.
I didn't say Malachi Moore is elite, but Malachi Moore is not going.
So if they're not tackling, like you think he's not smart enough to figure out Caleb Downs is better, so they're not going to try to attack Caleb Downs. They're going to try to attack Malachi Moore. They're going to try to attack your 4th and 5th guy because they have elite playmakers at that spot. You haven't faced the offense like that, just like they haven't faced the defense like yours.
I'm about to say their top 2 receivers are elite, but you talking about we're going down as far as the 3 and 4 guys and saying that they are elite. That's what you're trying to tell me.
So they don't have last year they had 1,000 yard pass catchers. This year, the only reason why the third guy didn't catch 1,000 is because he got hurt and he's healthy now. What we like, bro? You ain't watched Washington this year.
No. I'm saying that makes them elite just because they get 1,000 yards. That makes them elite now. We just throwing elite out there.
So what makes Terrion Arnold
elite? Neighbors is elite. Marvin Harrison Jr. is elite.
Bro, have you
Jalen Polk, McMillan, and Adunze are all 3 elite.
Adunze is elite.
Oh, bro, I don't know, man. I'm gonna tell you now that Washington receiver room, top to bottom, is better than any other one in the country.
Okay, let's put it like this.
Considering all your DBs elite, just because they got tackles, that don't make them elite. Terrion Arnold is not an elite corner, dog. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He's not an elite corner. Kool-Aid is. Caleb Downs is an elite safety. Terrion Arnold is above average. He's not elite. You just going around elite. He's not.
Okay,
made mistakes.
We really just want to go there. Them same 3 wide receivers. Washington shouldn't even be in here if it wasn't for a pick 6. When they playing Stanford, they struggled against Stanford.
You went to South Florida and struggled. What are you talking about?
Do you not know it was Did you not know the game stopped 2 times because of a rain delay?
So you can have excuses, but Washington.
No. That's not an excuse. That is the actual fact. The game had to be stopped twice.
They played in the same rain. South Florida played in the same rain.
And what were they doing? Nothing.
Bro,
why are y'all just leaving Dylan Johnson out of this conversation as that running back? Because that dude alone,
he's not running a damn thing on no Alabama defense. This is why I didn't even. I was praying to God they didn't mention that.
Oh my God! No.
Hey, you know what? I was on the Alabama train too, but after.
Hey man, we'll agree to disagree. This conversation ain't going nowhere, dog. Because you obviously think that Alabama is this all world. Like,
no, I didn't say we was all world.
Since we talking about what would have happened if you take away plays, I mean, Georgia fumbled inside the 10 and you guys got a score, and we missed the field goal. But I still don't think we was gonna beat y'all. Y'all beat us fair and square. You can't be like, oh, they only did this because they got a pick 6. They won the game, dog. Y'all struggle with South Florida. I mean, what we talking about here? Y'all struggle at Auburn.
The whole
y'all
South
struggle
Florida.
at Auburn. Y'all struggle at Auburn. Auburn's not a good team.
We always struggle at Auburn, literally at Auburn. The history at Alabama, at Auburn. I don't care if we're undefeated or just average. We always struggle at Auburn. That is, you can just check it. Look at the last 15 years.
All right. Take a breath, everybody, for a minute. I'm going to remind everybody to hit that like button real quick. Hey, you can go back to this in a second, but I gotta pay some bills here. Come on.
Sorry.
So, hey, hit that like button. Make sure that that's the free way to make sure that we get out there on this algorithm. You can become a channel member. In fact, Bishop Frank bought multiple channel memberships. We appreciate it. But you can do that by going here. I need to pull up the right thing overlay to the website just above Chris. You can also go onto our podcast merch website, hofmedia.us/pod-merch. Get your horns down hat right there, or your SUC wear. We got all kinds of different stuff. If you're looking for grills, we got a great deal with Louisiana Grills, and then you can still get licensed gear in time for Christmas with our Fanatics partner link. Okay, our favorite new sponsor is Devil Dogs Brew and Beans. Make sure you guys get over there and check them out. This is a premium coffee brand run by a veteran, and it's set up for veterans, man. So get in there. 5% of all sales goes to the Wounded Warrior program. So important to us, man. It's great coffee too, guys. So check it all out.
Shout out to Buc-ee's.
And shout out to Buc-ee's as always. Shout out to Buc-ee's.
That's what really need to get y'all a sponsorship for real.
They really do. They really do. We're here for Buc-ee's. We love Buc-ee's. Yeah. They need to get on board. They need to get on board with somebody.
Keystone sponsorship, all right.
Man, Keystone will work all right. Little Keystone.
I can't tell you the last time I seen a Keystone beer.
It's been a while since I've seen one. Actually, Chris is on one. Here we go.
My dad was probably still alive the last time I seen it.
They still make Keystone beer?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm asking, for real, do they make Keystone? I don't know.
He's drinking one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, snap.
That's what I'm saying. That would have me tripping.
Joe Long, welcome into the Joe Long is this one. Okay, there we go. Gifted. There you go. Shout out to Buc-ee's. Shout out to our Hall of Fame channel members as well. You know, we appreciate you guys a lot. It's very important to us. I mean, you can become a channel member for $2.99 a month, as low as $2.99 a month as well. Special thanks to all you guys as well. Appreciate that. All right. What were we talking about, or what were we going to bring up here? There's a couple of different things I wanted to. We can continue on this argument about who's better, Alabama.
I got a question
it is what it is. No, they got the 23rd ranked pass defense. They got the best pass defense in the nation, though.
Okay.
You said y'all had the best pass defense in the nation. I didn't.
Here we go. Yeah. You should have jumped in quicker.
It just so happened to have two of the guys on there as first team All-Americans voted on by the Associated Press.
Yeah, that's individual awards. That's not team awards. You said best pass defense. You didn't say best safety and best corner. Like it takes 11. It takes 11 to defend the pass, though.
You're right. Don't worry. Let's see what Michigan do. We'll find out whoever. I will just leave it like that. Don't worry. I told y'all the last time I was on here with you. Yeah, it was you and Shawty. I said, don't worry. When we see y'all in the SEC championship game, I want that same talking.
I will, because I was the same person that came on Jason's show and said Texas was gonna go to Alabama beat y'all. So I mean, you get them right sometimes, you get them wrong sometimes. But what we talking about?
Don't worry.
I always keep the same energy, dog.
Like,
Like y'all got a really good defense, but you're acting like Washington doesn't have one of the top offenses in the nation.
In the Pac-12.
Bro,
what offense have y'all faced to be a good defense? If we're talking about that, like technically, y'all ain't really faced a good offense. So I mean, how good is the defense really? I can say the same thing. They haven't faced good defenses. Y'all
LSU is not a good offense. Ole Miss is not a good offense.
Ole Miss is average offense. LSU is. I'll give you LSU.
LSU, what? But they knocked out. Knocked out Jaden.
Ole Miss only has 2 losses.
What quarter though?
Let me ask you this:
if Jaden got knocked out late in the game, I don't take away from what they did against them.
But Coach, the thing that I would ask you though is like, okay, look at what Alabama was at the start of the year and the end of the year, and if you got Nick Saban doing what he does, and you get a month to plan for somebody, or even a week, but he's going to be looking at all of them. I mean, you can't really bet against Nick Saban, even though I like Kalen DeBoer a lot. I still think that they lose that game myself, but.
Hey, I mean, we'll say. I'm still saying that just because it's Nick Saban don't mean me.
I think Jalen Milroe is going to have to throw it. He's going to have to throw it though. Beat him with his arm, and I don't know that for sure that he can do that, bro. He's got a big arm, but it isn't very accurate.
He don't know when to put more on it and take it off. I mean, he's gonna
been
be
a lot
good.
better than
he's not.
He really has.
Yeah,
don't worry.
But
that's why I said don't worry. I just pray if my fault. Go ahead. My fault.
No, I think a lot of it, a lot of the hype that's kind of came on late season, that new energy that's kind of been for Milroe, it hadn't been consistent all season. It came along later in this season, and he necessarily. Auburn was 6-6 this year. I understand y'all were at Auburn. That 4th and 31 or whatever it was. I kind of feel like that's kind of made people blind to reality. I think he's more of a liability than he's going to win that game for y'all. All right, I'm just putting it out.
My question on that one though, the 4th and 31, how the hell you go from rushing 4 and 5 to 2, and then don't double team that cap?
They didn't even rush 2, dog. They had 3 up there. One was a true spy, and the other 2 started to rush and end up being a spy. But Milroe made the play again. That's not something I count against Milroe. He made a great throw.
No, he did. It was on the money. It was terrible defense, and they'd been working with pressure all damn day. It was so weird to me.
I'm just gonna tell you right now.
Welcome to
if
Georgia
it's lined up with Washington and Alabama, I'm telling you right now, we beating these guys by 17. And I'm just gonna leave.
You if they meet up, you give me that 17.
I would give you that 17.
It's a bet.
I still pick Bama. I still pick Bama. I think they're a more complete team. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend
because
it's elite receivers.
The whole country's been dogging on Washington all year, and they're still undefeated too. They were Oregon was supposed to beat them twice. Didn't do it.
But how is the Pac-12?
Like I say, I think Alabama actually does have a good defense, and I don't think Washington's seen anything like it. But again, I don't think Alabama's seen an offense like Washington.
But I'd take 17 if you want to give 17. I'd take 17 in Washington.
You can take whatever you want to take because it's so much. It's many factors.
Giving away free money.
It's many factors because they're not going to be able to hold Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell on the edges whatsoever to give Michael Penix time to throw the ball. And Michael Penix going to be rushing those throws. That's only making it worse for him.
Ball out fast. Don't you watch him? He doesn't hold the ball for very long.
That's cool and all. But these guys play press man to man on those receivers. So they're going to have to do something quick.
You acting like they've seen receivers like this all season. You acting like they've seen receivers like
that's my point. Neither side has seen the best part of the other team is what I'm talking about, bro.
But that's the thing. I said it's going to be down in them trenches when it comes to that line. when you got
Washington
Dallas
actually has a good offensive line. What are you talking about?
Elite.
Okay.
It's an elite offensive line.
I'm not saying that y'all won't get sacks,
fault.
but you acting like the offensive line is trash. The offensive line is actually good, dog.
The same way Jason look at Big Ten, it's the same way I look at Pac-12. It's mediocre.
I'm guilty of that too.
It's mediocre.
I'm guilty of that
I'm
too.
sorry. It is mediocre. You're not going to convince me.
And Coach, you just hate because you hate Alabama.
No, I hate. Come on, dog. Like, first of all,
Georgia has an elite offensive line.
First of all, if anybody comes on and keeps it real about any team, it's Coach. I don't have a dog in the fight, dog. I don't go SEC, and I'm not rooting against Bama. Only time I don't like Bama is when we lining up against them. Outside of that, I ain't got no problem with Alabama. Like, that's a lot of y'all hold all those prejudices and stuff. I don't think the Pac-12 has been good the whole CFP. This year, the Pac-12 was actually good, dog. I mean, it's football. It's like that's just what it is. Like, I know how to see football past fan-colored glasses. Like, I don't go 7-win Sark. That's why I don't go, oh, he can't get it done. I look at what happens on the field leading up to the game. That's what it is.
He's taking shots. Look at that.
I'm telling because y'all do that. Y'all say a guy can't win a game because that was literally your reasoning for them not being able to beat Bama. You said 7-win Sark, and I told you, well, 7 wins, you only got to win 1 this weekend. That's how you got to look at it. Like, I don't care about any of these teams. If Georgia ain't in it, I don't care who wins. So that's just the
I don't either. And I just got done agreeing with you when it came to Washington about if you giving me 17, I'll take it all day. Now,
let me ask you this.
Alabama wins the game. I think Alabama wins the game, but I don't know that they can handle that receiving core. And I think Michael Penix is better than anybody they've played.
Let me ask you.
And that's what I think it comes down to. Like I said, they're gonna make some good plays defensively.
Jaden, but they
okay. I'm about to say. Okay, I'm about to say.
But what quarter did he get hurt in?
Daniels.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to say
the thing with Washington. Washington, I'm still not sold on the Pac-12. I just think it was more they were closer to one another, so it seemed more competitive. Because I'm looking at Washington's schedule right here. Boise, they weren't crazy. They weren't good. Tulsa weren't good. Michigan State,
they look like hell against Arizona State.
Yeah. So with that being said, yeah, they look good. Pac-12. That's what I was saying earlier. The Pac-12 isn't going from one of the worst conferences last year to being one of the top conferences this year.
So would you say the SEC was good this year? Would you say the SEC was good this year?
The SEC has at least 6 or 7 teams in the top 15.
I don't care nothing about them people rankings. I don't care nothing about them people rankings. I'm talking about watching the game. Was the SEC good this year? Was they good? Y'all say the Pac-12. They was not good this year. They were not.
If they had a
I put it always is.
I put it like this.
Tennessee was trash. Florida was trash. LSU is not that good, dog. They ain't got no defense to stop nobody.
I ask you this. Who you think is the best in the Pac-12 right now? Give me your top 3 best teams in the Pac-12 right now. It's the reason I'm asking.
Washington,
Oregon, and
no, I want
Arizona.
The top team from like 1, 2, and 3 for a reason.
Washington,
Oregon, Arizona,
yeah,
and Arizona. Alabama play Washington. Oregon played Georgia, and who you can throw anybody at 3. I'll just say you can just throw
Missouri and we'll say
Ole Miss and Arizona.
Missouri.
What do you think the record would be?
So you just took it from hold on, but you took it to a SEC better than the Pac-12. SEC, I don't think the SEC was good this year. That third team isn't automatically guaranteed to beat Arizona. That's what I'm telling you. Whoever the third team is.
The third team would be
the third team? Missouri,
or Ole Miss.
What? Okay, since you introduced top 25 teams and all that, Missouri didn't beat a top 25 team all year, but they were ranked number 9.
Maybe LSU though. Yeah,
I'm kidding about the rankings. I'm watching the game, dog.
Hey, listen, and what have we said? In the next time that Lane Kiffin wins a big game, it will be the first time.
They ain't played on the road good since Lane been the coach.
No,
so that vaunted offense they got, it's only vaunted when they play on the Grove. They only play good on the Grove. That's the only time that offense is good.
Come on, the Pack was.
So
not
you asked me who I thought the best conference was. Who do you think?
No, I didn't say who the best conference. I don't think. I don't like. I didn't.
Okay,
you can say who the best conference. I never said
yeah.
who I said. I said the Pac-12 was a good conference. That's what I said. And I don't think the SEC was a good conference this year. I don't.
Well, I think the SEC was a good conference. I think the SEC
right.
and the Big Ten.
I'll put it like this. They think this
I think it was good at the top. I think it was really bad at the bottom.
Yeah.
They consider this a down year. Now, you say you don't go by these folks' rankings, but it's still a lot of teams in that top 15 that's from the SEC.
Yes, but you know, they start out in the top 15 before the season even starts because they're in the SEC.
I'm talking about the end.
But your beginning ranking has a lot to do with how you finish. You do know that, right?
You did have 4 teams in the SEC that were over 10 wins, though. 10 wins or better. And then LSU had 3 losses. LSU had 3 losses to 2 teams with a total of 3 losses. I mean, that's 5 teams that are essentially 9-10 wins.
It was Alabama, it was Georgia.
That's true.
And I mean, if we count Missouri, outside of that, there was nobody else, dog. It's been Alabama and Georgia.
But LSU beat Missouri.
It's been Alabama and Georgia, like last year. It was Alabama, it was Georgia.
True.
It was Alabama, it was Georgia. That's Tennessee was Fugazi. We saw that. Like, but you know, they got why people
went down. They were toast for sure.
You know why they was considered good? Because they beat Alabama. That's why they was considered good. They didn't do nothing else really good all year.
Worst Alabama defense in a long time.
What exactly? That wasn't even a really good Bama.
It really wasn't defense. It really was just a coordinator, and we see how that changed once we got rid of them.
Yeah, that's
basically the same defense outside of Will Anderson.
50 to freaking Tennessee. So.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it's not harder to play in the SEC, because it is harder to play because of the talent that's in the SEC. But just because you got the guys in the trenches doesn't make you a good team. You can get beat up by South Carolina, win the game.
Elite teams, you're right about
but
that.
it's not
I agree with you on that.
That's what I'm saying, dog. Like,
we're not about to just
I still think top to bottom, there's nobody close though. There's nobody close to the talent. The talent alone. You're gonna win out more times than not. They got better coaches and they got more talent.
So okay, if that's the case, and God, I hate to do this. Why did the ACC have a winning record against the SEC this year? The ACC
you know why? Because the ACC played 5 of those 6 wins were against Vanderbilt, 2 against South Carolina, 1 against Florida.
But we're saying that if we're top to bottom the best team, some of our average teams should be able to go beat their best teams.
Those weren't even average teams.
But you're naming
about average teams. We're talking about South Carolina, Vanderbilt, and freaking not even Arkansas, Florida. They were shit. They're not even average.
The only one that you can legit say is LSU. They're not even playing none of the top teams.
And Florida State was 2 of those wins. One of them was against LSU. That was the only one of the 6 that was against anywhere near the top half of
that is like the most stupidest stat all year. Like anybody even trying to put out there.
Again, all I'm saying is if it's the best conference, you should own the record.
Oh my God, come on now. We being for real.
You know that all wins ain't crereated equally.
Come on now.
Florida State won 2 of them, one of which was against Florida, and then they won. They beat LSU. Good for them. They beat LSU. Beating Florida is like, what does that mean? Y'all,
I don't personally think there's a best conference as far as teams. Again, I think the SEC is the most loaded with talent and roster, but as far as the team has to go win the game, I don't think I think every conference is top heavy, and then it gets muddled up in the middle. I mean, it gets muddled up in the middle. That's what I think. So
hold on. I'll put it like this.
So Joe Long here. Joe Long here says the Pac was deeper than the SEC. Again, the SEC beats up on one another, and it's because there is so much talent. It's not, I mean, obviously you got Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Florida's got some talent, but it's week in, week out. It's a gauntlet all the time. The Pac, there's not. You got USC that had some talent. You got Oregon that had some talent.
Thank you, stat guy. Clemson and UNC count for 2 of those losses against South Carolina, and both of those teams were garbage. So it's not always their top teams playing our bottom teams. You brought up
South Carolina. Come on, man.
Hold on. But Clemson wasn't good this year. Clemson was not. Y'all looking at the helmet and not the team. South Carolina has talent.
They don't.
You think South Carolina has better talent?
They don't have Clemson talent.
I didn't say they had better talents. Y'all see, this is what y'all doing.
That was me changing it up.
Okay, so okay, you won that. Clemson has better talent than South Carolina. You telling me UNC got better talent than South Carolina? No, they were a bad team and they beat South Carolina. So it's not always their better teams are playing our worst teams. That's not how it always is. That's the narrative SEC people like to spin all the time.
Where would you rank UNC and Clemson in the ACC this year?
Middle of the road.
Where would you rank South Carolina?
They wasn't the worst teams. I mean, they was like
they wasn't one of the worst teams.
I said they wasn't the worst team.
That's saying something, but they were definitely bottom tier.
See, now you're going by semantics. You said you said that South Carolina
enjoying this. Then I don't know what to say.
North Carolina was not a good team. North Carolina was not a good team, and they beat a bad North Carolina team, beat a bad South Carolina team. A bad Clemson team beat a bad South Carolina team.
Okay.
Stop going by what's on the side of the helmet and watch the game. Clemson was not good this year. I don't care what their talent says. They wasn't good.
Okay, was Louisville good this year?
Kinda.
No, I'm just asking. Is Louisville good? That was like their number 2 team in the conference, right? Or the ACC. Kentucky beat them.
Yeah.
Where would you rank Kentucky in the SEC?
They're right where they are.
Middle of the road.
They're right where they are.
Actually, if we're going by, they definitely in the
top, but they were
75. They were 75.
But they were 3
okay. Since you want to break it down like that, when I tried to give you the Alabama at Auburn, what was your defense?
That's literally we always
hold on. You always struggle, right?
I get it. Yeah,
and I think that's a valid reason. But you know what's up? What else is true? Kentucky owns Louisville. I don't care how good the teams are. Kentucky owns Louisville. So that throws your argument out right there. It's the same thing as struggling at Auburn. They own Louisville. I don't care. Yes, they do. My nephew.
No. I'm saying you're right. I'm with you.
So it's the same argument. It's the same as that argument.
I'm with you on
that argument.
Kentucky also owns Florida. Kentucky also owns Florida.
They don't own Florida. They don't own Florida. They won 2 of the last
5 years, bro.
I wouldn't say they own
Florida right now.
But Florida beat them for like 30 straight years.
Come Kitty.
That's why I'm about to say stop it. Now you gonna stop it right there.
Come on now.
The boy used to run Ram shit.
I'm just trying to make everybody laugh at me all.
I'm just saying, dog. The SEC has talent. But you still got to go out on the field and actually execute and get the win. And when you're talking about team wins, the SEC wasn't good this year, dog. I'm sorry, they wasn't. I'm watching the play. They wasn't good.
That lets you know how high that standard is in the SEC. Pac-12, I'm like, okay, I guess if that's what you want to give
me. Pac-12 played good football this year. I don't. That's just the truth of the matter. They played good football this year.
Hard thing about the Pac-12 is they didn't play anybody outside the Pac-12 really, so it's hard to really.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Win that you said it yourself. The best win that Oregon had was Texas Tech, and Texas Tech was trash,
and they struggled bad.
Yeah, they almost lost
on the road. But a playoff team in Alabama also struggled at South Florida, bro.
True
but
that.
But the one thing you're not
this is a thing. Did South Florida not have to take those same pauses in the game?
Yes, but South Florida.
So hold on. So they had to take that same pause. They had to play in that same rain, and you got literally the most talented roster in college football versus I would put under 100 roster in college football. I don't care how many breaks you take, dog. Y'all just tried in South Florida. Yeah, y'all just tried to use roster as a reason why Clemson should beat South Carolina. I don't care about pauses. I don't care about monsoons. You played South Florida, who has a inferior roster to everybody in the Power 5, and you still struggle.
Well. But they also had Milroe out of that game, right? That was a lot
for somebody to say I wasn't gonna go there. I wasn't going to go there.
Hey, Jason, you up on recruiting, right? You up on recruiting, right? Ty Simpson, Buckner and Ty Simpson, they kind of split carries. Did they split time that game?
And guess who saved us?
Hold on. Did Ty Simpson play that game?
Buckner just went to go play freaking lacrosse.
Hold on. Did Ty Simpson play that game?
He did.
What was Ty Simpson ranked when he came out? Was he a 5-star?
He was, but
is there any 5-star on South Florida's roster?
No.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's always an excuse the other way. You have a more talented roster. I don't care who lined up.
I guess.
Stop, man. Stop. It's always an excuse. It's always an excuse. I can break down all these excuses. It's never an excuse when it's the other way around, but you can use an excuse for
okay.
It don't work that way.
What quarterback is going to do anything? You show me a quarterback that threw a 300-yard game in that type of weather, and I apologize right now.
You got a better running game. That's what you do in that type of weather. So you should still beat them worse than you did.
And Brinsky, here's what I'll say
about who playing quarterback, dog. You got 4 and 5-star running backs.
You got
one of the best offensive lines in the nation. That's the games they love. When it's raining like that, you pound them. And Michigan been literally running over people, beating them by 40, just running the ball. So why couldn't y'all just run the ball and beat South Florida by a lot?
Because we wasn't running the ball. We were throwing.
But that's not. I don't care about the execution. That's on the coaches. But you making excuses of why it was a close game. The fact of the matter was it was a close game against a bad team. That's all it is. A close game against a bad team. I don't care about the conditions. You're vastly superior to them. So there's no excuses why it should have been a close game, dog. That's all I'm saying.
That falls on the coaching staff. It does. That's a coaching issue right there.
Yeah, I mean, most talented roster, dog. Like that's what I'm saying. The defense still played well.
Now, I think that they're a different team now.
Yeah, they are. I never disagree.
The only thing I want Georgia to do, just do this for me. Just do this for me.
When
y'all see these boys in the Orange Bowl and they start getting all they Senate people, the governor, the lieutenant governor, and everybody in the world. I just want you guys to beat them. If anything I want for Christmas, just blow these boys out by 34.
So listen, it'd be good for us if Alabama won the championship. So at least we can say we lost to the national champion.
Like I said, I don't have no problem with Georgia.
Yeah, I got no problem. I got zero. I got zero problem with Alabama.
If you were Auburn, then I'd be like, "F y'all." I hope y'all lose to anybody. I don't care.
Yeah. Auburn, Tennessee, and Florida. I really don't care what they do.
So, I'm still not sold Florida State's going to show up and play in that bowl game. They're pretty pissed off.
Well, see, this is the problem. This is a double-edged.
It's whenever they're bitching about the money for
it's a double-edged sword for Georgia, though. Like if we win, they're going to be like Florida State didn't have their quarterback. They didn't really want to play in the game. They was petitioning, and all this. But if we lose, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, y'all lost to Florida State," and this. So it's like a lose for Georgia. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, no,
I don't think it's happening either. I'm just saying it does.
And guess what?
Beat their asses by 50.
And we ain't gonna let them have it either. I don't care. Nah, y'all did all that bitching and crying that y'all need to be in there. Y'all better go out there and show out against Georgia.
Right. Hey, and here's the thing: as far as not going and playing it, because if they're not going to announce it, this is where they would screw that narrative up. Then right now, they've got the sympathy of at least 3/4 of the freaking college football world, right? Yep. I don't know why you don't hear Georgia bitching about being one loss in freaking 30 games and not getting in.
Got to win the games.
Yeah, look, it is what it is. So all I'm saying is, and I'm not saying who's deserving. I'm not going to get into this argument again. I still don't believe that they're that good. I don't think they were good enough to win it with Jordan Travis, by the way. I don't. But that being said, if Jordan Travis is there, it is what it is. If they think Alabama's better, I can agree with that. But in the end, right now, you've got enough people that believe in you, and they're taking up for you. You've got legislators, the whole 9 yards. If you don't show up down there, and you don't, or you do, and then you don't play, and you let everybody go into freaking South Florida and buy tickets and everything else, then the narrative now changes. You're the bad guy.
Yeah. I was about to say, you're not going to let all those people buy tickets and then not show up.
You can't do that. You cannot do
that. That'd be a bad look.
And that ain't it.
That'd be. Hey, Sharp, I got to get on the show, man. You got to have me on the show.
Oh man, you know I want you on them, man. I want you on
listen,
them.
Listen, man. Me and Sharp. Listen, that's how me and my boys be talking, dog. Like,
oh, trust me, man. You see where it went. I was like,
I can't even get in a word edgewise shit.
That's how me. Hey,
I didn't want to. I was enjoying the show.
That's how. But listen, though, that's what I'm saying. Though he stuck the football, I stuck the football. Like sometimes you get into people like they can't stick. Like that time Jason was on Old Boy Show. We're not gonna talk about it, but I watched that and he didn't stick the football. He started taking personal shots. Like that's not what you do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Okie Lite.
You about to piss him off. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Hey, Jason was on 100, boy.
I was on 100. I left the show, but I body bagged his ass first.
See, that's the thing, bro. When we talk about one thing, I hate when it be like, "Well, you ugly." Well, I'm like, okay, man.
No, like it was.
That's
it got. What's
too.
crazy is it literally was. It wasn't ugly, but yeah, I mean the word ugly, but it kind of went that way. You know?
It's just sports talk, man.
Shit like that.
I
like
people
are just passionate about their fans, man. Trust me. I'm not getting paid from Alabama. I wish I was. I just love the team.
Yeah. On your thoughts on the SEC schedule, Stephen G. We talked about some of them. Stephen G. want to know what our thoughts are on the SEC schedule.
I don't care about the schedule till next year.
We talked about a couple of them, Stephen G. What's going on? I guess he's just getting in.
But to be honest, when we was talking about that was the most I looked at the schedule because I was like,
no, he's been in.
So Jason came on last night on my channel, and we did all 16 teams. We recorded it, so I've been putting them out team by team. We did all 16.
I don't know how I missed that today. Then
I put out y'all's first. Y'all's came out at 12, and then
I reposted it. I think you liked it, Brinsky.
Yeah,
I don't think I liked it today.
I had my boy Jonathan. He's an Alabama fan. He's real cool.
Jonathan Lewis.
It's about 10 minutes.
Pretty good. He's sharp. He's pretty good. He's got a pretty good show.
Well, he had to back off because his work got busy. He be traveling all across the world now, so he don't really get to jump on. But we did all teams from Alabama all the way to Vandy. Vandy probably got the least amount of time.
I was just about to say, I wouldn't even.
But I ain't gonna lie though. By the time we got to Vandy, dog, we had been on like 2 hours and 15 minutes. I was about ready to wrap it up anyway. So
I would have just said Vandy two wins,
and they're all in the portal too, aren't they?
Yeah, they got a lot of players in the portal. Clark Lee's trying to make them an actual and Vandy. Shout out to Vandy. They're actually pouring some money into their athletics finally. They've been getting that check from the SEC for all these years. They've been sitting on all that dough. Now they finally trying to put some of it into the athletics.
They said they there for the GPA.
Listen, they doing a lot. They redoing the football thing and all that.
Yeah.
I got a question for y'all then. So bowl season starting, it kicks off Saturday. Of the matchups, which one are you going after?
Which ones you like?
I like
great question.
I like that.
Obviously you ain't looking forward to them, but what game are you wanting to watch, or which one intrigues you?
Some of the New Year's 6, I actually like it in theory. I don't know if both teams are gonna come to play.
No, I mean just this Saturday.
I don't mean
all bowl season. I just mean just Saturday.
Well, let's go with all
that's
bowl
mine.
season
Ohio and Appalachian
Saturday,
State.
but let's talk about all of them.
Oh, you talking about this Saturday? Oh, my bad.
Which games do you like for the whole thing, though? Too even.
I like that New Year's 6 Cotton Bowl, Missouri and Ohio State. I like it, but now that what you call it, Kyle McCord is not playing.
Yeah, but this other quarterback's better than Kyle McCord is. McCord,
he didn't beat him out.
Listen.
If you listen
some of this stuff politics sometimes.
If you listen to what the guys that cover that program say, that was Ryan. It was a mistake by Ryan Day, and he knows it, and that's why he's in the portal now because he did not. The other dude is the athlete of the crew.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It was like It's a weird deal. He could throw the ball too. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
man.
I haven't seen Devin Brown play, so I don't know. I just know they used to use
Devin
him in
looks good.
packages.
Is Devin Brown the one that went
Do you ever watch?
I hate that.
Zach,
I hate that.
That dude's show. It's what's his
Zach
name?
Brown or not Zach Brown?
He was the old wide receiver coach.
I watched one
For
of the
Urban.
shows.
Yeah,
Listen,
it's
man, all I know is listen, man.
he's crazy as shit, but his show's good though.
At the beginning of 2021, when I was calling for JT Daniels instead of Stetson, shouted them said if they was that good, they'll beat Stetson out. That's how they used to tell me. If they that good, they'll beat him out, dog.
Yeah. Well,
Man.
look, even Ryan Day's freaking boys, which Zach is one of those guys that he's a Ryan Day guy, and he's like, he did the same thing Urban did and took the easy way out and played JT Barrett instead of, you know how Urban played JT Barrett over.
So that's what I guess my thing is. They both were,
or Cardale Jones. He played over JT Barrett when he should have played JT.
They both were red shirt freshmen, right? Well, I guess I'm just. Why would he play Kyle McCord?
Kyle McCord's not a redshirt freshman. He's
like a junior.
He's only got 1 year left because his dad's getting in the way of a lot of this shit too, apparently. But his dad, he wasn't going to play him. He was going to play Quinn when Quinn was there because they weren't going to burn either one of their red shirts. He played him in that last game instead of whoever, I guess, when CJ was hurt.
Hey, I ain't up on all the politics though.
But I like
the show. I just got the story, but that's what I was like. Wow, he burned all of his shit on 1 year, basically.
Kyle is just a weird dude, man.
Yeah,
going through this whole process, dog. Ever since that, now he was going to Nebraska, and then when Dylan Raiola talking about flipping, you talking about you ain't going there no more? I'm like, bro, you just don't want competition, bro. You just soft.
And I'm thinking you're gonna have to go G5 or lower to somebody that ain't got nobody if you don't want to battle a guy straight out of high school.
that lets me know you're not confident in yourself.
Oh, really? Right.
He's gonna be a Burrow 2.0 and end up in LSU.
He ain't gonna win that job.
Who he is though. The reason he got in the portal is because Ryan Day would not tell him he's the starter next year. He doesn't want to compete for the job.
I was about to say Joe Burrow left because he wanted that smoke, and they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't give him a chance to smoke it. Right. So
he wasn't going to
get. He ain't going to LSU and win it. Yeah, he ain't going to LSU and win it because he definitely can't throw like Nussmeier.
He was definitely the dude.
Yeah, I had some sympathy for Buddy until I seen that this morning, man. I was just like, my God, bro.
What Power 5 team needs a quarterback? Like literally needs a quarterback. I mean, he's got to battle wherever he goes.
Yeah, I think Louisville.
Vanderbilt.
He's been everywhere. I think Louisville.
You're right, because AJ Swan is in the portal. You're right.
Yep.
Vanderbilt.
You better take care of it.
We brought this up early, but I don't think both of you guys were on.
That's
I think
a good point, Sharp.
Me and Chris were on there. But guys, look at how many freaking starting winning quarterbacks entered the portal this year. They didn't lose their job.
New world, man. It's a new world.
You know, like DJ, I felt like that was because the coach left and they kind of in limbo with the Pac-12.
Okay.
Dylan Gabriel, you know more than you know more. Yeah, I felt like it was almost one of those. Hey, dog, we appreciate you, but it's been real. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
That's
so
definitely what it was. That's definitely what it was.
Because I don't think he leaves on just literally 100% on his own accord. It could have been a 50-50 thing, but I don't think if Brent Venables say, "Hey, dog, I want you to come back and be my starter," then Dylan says, "Nah, dog, I'm good." I don't think that's
the money's bigger at Oregon for sure than what he was going to get in Oklahoma. But here's the other part is that I'll just say it right here. I mean, we hadn't really gotten into this conversation yet. We kind of need to talk about it anyway. This Caden Green thing is kind of, you can tell that Dylan was pissed off. We talked about it on the show last week. Dylan, when he said bye, he said, "Fans, you held me accountable and I'm better for it." He didn't say thank you. He said basically kiss my ass.
Yeah.
I've been saying that. And I think he proved that. He's the one that made the phone call to Caden Green. If he ends up at Oregon, Dan Lanning's been in town all week, but also I think a lot of it has to do with Dillon Gabriel, and which may have something to do with the Jeff Lebby thing too. Look, the bottom line is that I think that Dillon felt very slighted, rightfully so by a lot of people. Is he got the same upside as Jackson? No, but I got to tell you guys, freaking Major Applewhite didn't have the upside of Chris Sims either.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah. Like I said, I knew you. Yeah.
The crazy thing about, and I even put in the group message on Twitter when Dillon Gabriel and Dante Moore, I think they was both on the same camp on the campus at the same time. It was just funny to me how quickly he committed. Like, I'm committed before he does.
And now with Dante Moore, didn't he lose his spot towards the end of the year? Not lose.
He
lost it and came back. Yeah. So that's and then the guy Grayson McCall, he leaves Coastal Carolina. Finally, he should have left Coastal when his coach went to Liberty. He's finally, I think he's at NC State now.
NC State.
Riley Leonard, he leaves because Elko leaves. I think if Elko stays at Duke, Riley Leonard comes back to Duke. I think out of all of them, though, I think Kyle McCord is the one. I mean, you guys put me on this whole, wrong quarterback starting thing. I just thought that was weird. I'm like, you started at Ohio State all year, bro, and then you just bounce. That's just weird.
I think
he doesn't want to compete for the job, though. If you don't want to compete for the job, do you want that guy as your quarterback? I mean, if you go up to Ryan Day and I say, I want you to tell me that I'm the starter, and if you're Ryan Day, you're like, what do you mean? You is there another position on this team that we don't have to compete for? This is Ohio State.
Yeah,
best of the best. They recruit some of the best players in the country, and you don't even want to compete. And that's almost like as worse. I hate that. And then another thing that I hate is when we get a recruit and he's just undecided. Like he commit here, then he decommit, then he goes somewhere else, and then he decommit here and commit there. I don't want nobody that just undecided where he want to be. You either want to be here or you don't. And I just don't like those type of guys, man.
My feeling on Dillon Gabriel has been I wanted him to come back whether or not he played or didn't play, because I think going into the SEC, you don't want he's a true sophomore with no experience, backed up by two true freshmen with no experience. That's tough. This is why I'm not calling 10-2. I'm saying 8-4, maybe 9-3. 10-2 would be.
I got 8-4.
I think it can be anywhere in between 8-4, 10-2.
I mean, they're young on defense too. Thankfully, Danny Stutzman and Billy Bowman are both coming back, because you'd be just as young on the defensive side. And plus now we're going to have to trying to patch together an offensive line. Look, man, that's not exactly how you want to go in.
For sure. Gotta have them trenches, man. Ask South Carolina, dog.
Man, I get it. And they're getting there. I believe that they're getting there. I think that the recruiting side on the offensive line would use some help.
I'm gonna be honest, coming into the SEC on offense, you can be less than at a lot of positions. Mm-hmm. Offensive line ain't one of them.
Right.
Like you can have, not necessarily, what he was ranked or whatever.
You have one of the best offensive line.
You can have 3-star talent at running back. You can have a 3-star talent at wide receiver. You can even possibly have a high 3-star, low 4-star at quarterback. But what you don't want is a bad offensive line.
Boy, I swear to God,
but
it'll show every time. Matter of fact, ask Prime how you feel about that.
What I'll tell you though is Bill Bedenbow knows what he's doing with the coach's side, and he develops guys that may be 3 stars or whatever, but he's putting them in the first round a lot.
But that's all that matters. Yeah, how they play is what matters.
There's some young guys that are going to have to step up a little early. It looks like Savion Bird's coming back for some depth. It sounds like he was in the portal before. But and then I think they got that kid from Michigan State too that was a stud. So we'll see.
I mean,
didn't you say there was a guy?
I don't think we're done yet.
No.
Yeah, there's a guy from North Texas, and then there's the other guy from Michigan State that's looking, and then Furman.
I think he got out
Furman,
of it.
Furman is one of the top FCS programs in the nation.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, there's a lot in the fire, and the good thing about it now is the NIL is ready to pony up some money for Caden Green. Well, hey, still pony that money up. Let's get somebody.
Well, that's a good thing because your first 4 games aren't against world beaters. You know, Houston is a formidable team, but they're not a world beater. You know what I'm saying? You don't. That's why I say when we was talking about the schedule, where you play the team, as far as date, month and day wise, that makes a difference because y'all have time for that offensive line to start gelling before you really get into, you definitely want to have them kind of cohesive when Tennessee comes to town because Tennessee does have a good.
The whole point is that it's not even just the one guy. Sure. It's that you judge a lineman by the whole line, really. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah,
it's a unit. You go by a unit. And that's where now there's some young kids that are going to step up, but you can trust in Coach B. Big Bill can get it done. But look, that's the point I'm trying to make is, guys, that's why I'm not freaking saying I couldn't believe Jay went on his show and said 12-0 was a possibility. I just couldn't believe it because I don't.
Unfair sports, Jay?
Yeah.
Stop. Jay didn't do that.
He did.
Listen, I tell
I
people all the time,
I just think that I think he had a brain fart there for a minute because
we talking about win totals and possibilities. You get a half. If it's a neutral point for a win, Georgia has in regular season has gone 12-0 3 straight years. I still will not. I don't care who we would be playing next year. It could be the same East and West. It's hard to go 12-0, dog. I don't care who you are.
I get it.
That's not something you can be predictive, man.
Right. And look, I did the same thing last year. I was at 9-3, yes. 10-2. I think that 10-2 is the absolute top in that. But you know what that would take for me? I believe that right there takes Jackson Arnold having an All-American type season as brand new. They're deep at receiver, they're deep at running back, but they got a new line. That line would have to gel and be very good right away. And you're going to have some freshmen on the D line that are ready to rock. I just don't know.
Like I say, hey, listen, and Jay's my guy, and hey, everybody's opinion is different. I don't care who the team is. Like, I think the ceiling, of course, the ceiling is always 12-0 but a lot of and Sharp just said it, a lot of luck got to go your way to go 12-0. And it's sometimes it's a schedule, sometimes it's a player getting hurt on the other side, sometimes it's, whatever it is, it's like that.
If you had Texas' schedule, then maybe.
Look at every championship run. You had a lucky game. Last year, Ohio State was supposed to beat Georgia. Yeah. And they missed that kick.
How many undefeated champions has there even been lately? Right. I mean, you guys were undefeated last year, but when was the last time? That was the national game right there. Since before that.
But even on that run, we squeaked out one against Missouri. Kent State played us well. And it doesn't matter whether we came in overlooking them or whatever it is. It's just how it went. Ryan Day settled for a field goal. I want people to stop blaming that young man for missing that long field goal. Ryan Day got a first down, had 35 seconds, and he settled for a field goal. He had chance. He had timeouts, and he had chance to actually be aggressive. We couldn't stop him.
He was aggressive the whole damn game. Until he decides to go freaking weak sauce.
I'm glad you said that because I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because CJ Stroud just had ran for 25 yards, got them a first down. They were in field goal range. The next play, he runs the ball. They have been killing us all day. But that's on Ryan Day, man. I know the guy missed the thing. But, I mean, look at TCU, how much they looked up every game. I mean, you got to have some luck. And that's why I just 12-0 is so hard to say that's somebody's ceiling, though. I mean, I get it. Technically, you can go 12-0, but that's hard, bro.
I forgot who I was arguing with.
That's the question I was asking. When's the last national champion aside from Georgia last year that was undefeated?
LSU.
Well, that was 19.
Alabama. Alabama in 2020. They don't. All I'm saying, the reason why they always talk about it because LSU went 15-0. Alabama went
like
12,
9 or 10,
13.
But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
They still that's even that year. It's hard to go undefeated.
And you see, out of all the games that they played that year, played that year, only the closest game that they had was Alabama. Yep. That was literally the closest game out of all the games
LSU that year.
No.
They beat us by 5.
Alabama and people forget they had a close game against Auburn. They had a close game against Auburn too. Yes, they didn't beat Auburn like that.
Gives you guys a close game, man.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure LSU and Auburn was less. It was a single-digit game, if I'm not mistaken.
Who is your big? Let me ask this. All right,
20 to 23.
Who's the biggest improvement?
Wow, I did not know that.
Next year's big. Who's going to take a big step in the SEC next year? That from where they were this season.
South Carolina.
And they can't help but go up.
Thank you for finishing the thought. I mean, sometimes it's just like that. Hey, listen, some of that, I'm not saying that they was a good team. What I am saying is a lot of their stuff, they had a lot of injuries. They already didn't have a deep roster.
And they got raided by the portal last year too.
They got raided by the portal, and their starting offensive line, like they were down their whole like 3 guys off their starting offensive line like 3 weeks into the season.
Let me ask you this though. If they don't have a big improvement, do they get rid of Beamer?
According to Stat Guide, everybody's looking forward to 2025 for Beamer. They're willing to accept 5-7, 6-6 next year. I'm not saying that's what I would do, but he's saying because the 2024 and 2025
his act, man, is so bad when they. That's the funny shit is great when you win. When you do stupid shit and lose, and then you still, it's so bad, dude.
Did he hurt his toe or something, or hurt his foot?
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like South Carolina and Colorado are kind of similar in that they both have head coaches that can generate momentum and recruit in their own way. But when it comes to in-game coaching, I don't trust either staff, Colorado or South Carolina. That's just I don't trust either staff. I know South Carolina's making really good moves.
You threw South Carolina in the Colorado bus, did you?
Listen, Colorado won 4 games. South Carolina won 5.
I got you, bro.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. So South Carolina's making some good moves right now. They got Rocket Sanders. They got the running back from North Texas. They're in the running. They're in the running for the D tackle out of Texas A&M for Overton. It's between.
Why are they not after Malik Murphy? Why are they not after Malik Murphy?
Because they got their own version of Malik Murphy. The Norris Sellers. They're all in on it. They got like 4 or 5.
You think he's better than Malik? Is he better than Malik?
It's hard to say because I haven't really seen him under the bullets. I mean, I think Malik gets the edge because Malik actually had to play games this year and got that experience. So, but I think they're kind of the same player, to be honest with you. I think Malik may be a little bit more athletic, but Sellers may have a better arm. I gotta see more.
Here's the thing I'm going to say one last time. And this is where you're saying 2025. And I'm telling you, I think that I think it's a long wait, man. Because I think you're already behind if you're South Carolina. You were behind because of what happened last year. If he don't win this year with getting Rocket Sanders and guys like that, and you believe in this quarterback, and you don't go out there and get Malik Murphy, and you still don't win, how the hell long are you going to wait? You're going to get so far behind, you're going to stay South Carolina forever.
I think. Go ahead. My fault.
Go ahead, Sharp.
No, I was saying, only way I think he'll make it to 2025 if he doesn't have a losing season. He got to at least have.
I think you said 5 and 7, he out. That's what you said.
Oh yeah. Because you're getting the talent, but it's not showing on the field.
Gotcha.
And on top of that, how easy? It's only getting harder to recruit because Texas and Oklahoma are now there.
This is what I will say to that, and it's again not a dig at South Carolina, but it's back to the conversation that me and Shawty always have about which programs and what they expect. I'm not saying that you shouldn't want to win 10, 11, 12 games. All I'm saying is if he goes 6-6 next year and makes a bowl game with the recruiting that he's doing, they're not going to let him go.
At 5-7, though, you should let him go. And if not, you better fire the damn athletic director.
Because 2024 is one of their best recruiting classes, in a long while. So, like Stat Guy said, they're going to give them a year to develop some of these young guys because they're going to be having to depend on a lot of young people next year, which teams
Has
really
proven
shouldn't
that he can develop anybody, though.
I know.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, what are we talking about?
Listen. I'm not talking about what I would do, Jason. I'm talking about what South Carolina would do.
I don't think the whole 3 years like it used to be in the past, I don't think that's enough anymore. We can look Florida State. I mean, he was on the hot seat for how long, and now look at him. And then also look at Neil Brown. Just last year at West Virginia, he was on the hot seat. And what he do this year?
Well, see, this is what I'm saying. So next year will be Beamer's 4th year. If they give him till
I like Beamer, but I don't think he's a head coach really. But I like him.
I don't disagree with that, but
I think that South Carolina is a tough place anyway. You can't.
But look at like this,
like you're going to get the guys that Florida State gets
at Oklahoma.
It's absolutely
Georgia,
inevitable.
Alabama, like the Michigan, that kind of stuff. We know they're not going to accept 4 straight years of not being in the thick of things.
No.
But at the Kentuckys, the South Carolinas, the Missouris, those middle of the road that can win 10 some, but sometimes they 6-6. They have a little bit more leeway there. And it's not because they don't want to win 10. It's just sometimes you got to recognize what's around you. And maybe Shane Beamer don't recognize it, but the administration recognizes what's going on around them. Oklahoma and Texas coming in. Alabama and Georgia is still Alabama and Georgia.
I mean, it's like it feels like you fall way behind that way.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, they may be in a better spot than Florida. Look at that schedule that Florida has. They've gone 6-7, 6-7, and 5-7. South Carolina's actually done better than them. So
you could have came in a long time ago, man. I've put that thing in the chat 15 times.
I thought I was doing a good job. Stat, I ain't doing a good job of the 2025 defense. I'm trying.
He ain't gonna do any better. I'm gonna eat it up too. Come on.
I'm not saying that they don't want to win. Again, like they're gonna be counting on a lot of their wide receiver core was already decimated during the season, and then now even the walk-ons are gone. Though they lost like 5 receivers to the portal. And Xavier Legette is going to the draft. So, like next year, they're counting on true freshmen and possibly they was going after. I want to say they was going. They got the one guy from what's his name? Vandy. What's the guy named Stat from Vandy that y'all got?
He's in.
Jay McGowan's.
Jay McGowan's like the kickoff returner dude. But like I said, they're going to be relying on a lot of young dudes. So. I think the administration for South Carolina may be more lenient than you or I would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you have to give certain programs time, and I believe that. I'm not saying that you don't give a program time. I think that Oklahoma needs time with Brent Venables too.
I don't think he gets as much time as Shane Beamer, though, by the way.
Who, Venables?
Like if it was in the same situation. He already
earned more time than Shane
what I'm saying, if he was in the same situation, he wouldn't have got as much time as South Carolina would give. So, like if he went 6-7, like his first year, and then went 6-7 this year, he wouldn't get the time that Beamer's going to
He'd be gone
That's
next year if they didn't win 10 or 11
That's
next
the
year.
Difference in the programs. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
That's the difference.
And the point, the reason why is, look, you're already so far behind Georgia and Alabama. Now you've got 2 other blue bloods that recruit at the top every year. You can't afford to stay behind the 8 ball for that long.
I got an opinion on that, but I'll let Stat go ahead. I'll let you jump in there.
So here's the thing. Looking at the schedule, I'm gonna go. We're probably going 5-7 next year. It doesn't as long as we don't go 0-12 and the wheels completely fall off the bus and half the teams in the portal in October. Beamer's back for 2025. This recruiting class this year has gotten him 2025. Now, how we do this year will place his expectations in 2025. If we go 4-8 or 5-7, he best win 9 or 10 games in 2025, or he's out of there. But if we go 6-6 or 7-5 this year, they're going to get him the same thing in 2025 as well, because we're excited about our 25 class. But South Carolina, it takes time to build. Shawty don't agree with me on this. South Carolina isn't an elite program. We're not. If we win 8 games every year, it's glorious in South Carolina. And you can hate that all you want, but that's who we are.
No. I understand that not everybody's is in the same mindset as Georgia, Alabama.
But that's what I was just about to say. You said that they were falling further behind Alabama and Georgia, and now Oklahoma and Texas is in. I don't think South Carolina is at the point where they're saying, God, we're behind Georgia. They're like, we got to make sure we're
$75 million this next year as a member of this.
I'm just saying,
why are you not?
They're
shot now.
Their targets are Missouri and Tennessee and LSU even at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Tennessee 1 year.
Yeah, that's their target. Their target. They're not shooting.
I understand.
That's what I'm saying. So it creates a different expectation.
No, it's like Kentucky the same way. Like you said earlier, Kentucky, I mean, shit, they ain't firing Mark Stoops.
I can tell you what another thing that's good for
that would have been a stupid thing for him to leave.
And I know it's gonna sound crazy, but Stat will understand it when I say it. Another thing that's good for Beamer, Don Staley being the best coach in college women's basketball, because that's what keeps the pressure off of Mark Stoops. They keep pressure on the basketball program because they're always in the Elite Eight in the Final Four, and that's where the focus is. I'm not saying South Carolina is a women's basketball school, but what I'm saying is Don Staley being elite helps Beamer. If they were trash and it's all on the football team, now expectations is going to be like, yo, man, what's going on?
I'd say they're definitely a women's basketball school, though. I mean, they're dominant.
The other thing that helps Beamer too is our baseball program has fallen off, and people are more upset about that, calling for Mark Kingston's job instead of Beamer's job, because we pride ourselves on being a baseball school because our athletic director won 2 World Series as the baseball coach. Look, I don't like Ray Tanner as the athletic director, but you know what he did? He won 2 World Series and he locked up Don Staley for life. So based off of that, they're never going to get rid of him until he decides to go. And so because of that, look, I think we need to fire some coaches, and I think we'll see coaches fired after we lock up this 24 recruiting class. Do I think that's the right thing to do? I think it's dirty to do that to kids, but you will see coaches fired once we lock up this 24 recruiting class next Wednesday.
Boomer, I'm not going to.
You got the wrong USC. That's Southern Cal that be playing the water polo. We don't play the water polo. That shit.
I don't know if necessarily having the good
that was a great
class
comment,
will help him,
by the way. This is the Boomer. You are the man, bro. This is he's always got a good one to throw up there, my dude.
Oh my God.
Nice job. Well done. Well done. All right, guys.
But with the
go ahead.
Chris.
No, Chris,
I was gonna say
you gotta end the show on that comment.
Chris,
I'm
let
not
Chris
so sure that having a recruiting class higher than usual is going to help him, because who's to say that Allen will be there next year? They're going to hop in that portal like they have been, right? So I just don't think that that's necessarily going to be the case anymore. Like you said, OU Tech's coming in. I mean, I just don't think it'll be enough. I think if he goes 5-7, he's probably going to be out because they're just going to be falling further and further behind.
Oh my God.
That's how I feel about it too. And the reason for it is the other part of it is the antics, man. It's funny when they're winning for him to be, nerdy and weird. But then he starts talking about hot dogs. They get their ass kicked in the UNC.
I ain't gonna lie, that was.
I mean, it's just so weird. And I like Shane Beamer, but I like it better if he was winning and picking on coaches like he was at first.
Well, Clemson fan said it best on Twitter today. I hate to say it. He said Dabo and Shane Beamer the same guy, just Dabo wins.
correct. That's actually not.
Wow, that is a great.
When I read it, I was like, I can't even be mad at it, dog. Like they literally do.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
but
you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem.
Now, one of the other big things too, though, Jason. Even if we continue to hit the portal this year, we have 7 of the top 8 recruits from the state of South Carolina coming to campus, and as long as we're locking down the state of South Carolina, it's going to buy more and more time. As long as those kids aren't going up to Death Valley.
Different goals at different schools has been my whole point, though.
You got to win. You got to win South Carolina for sure if you're ever going to get that point, anyway. Because that's the only way. No matter what state you're in, you got to win your state.
Like Alabama and Georgia can't afford, 9-3 on a consistent basis. That's not going to get it. That's not, But 9-3 on a consistent
10 games every damn year, and he got fired.
Hey, but at South Carolina, if Mark Richt has that same record, that dude getting a statue. Not to say we don't.
Oh God!
Listen, not to say that we don't appreciate Mark Richt because he showed us that we needed.
They weren't really trying to fire Lou Holtz or Spurrier, were they? They had to retire to leave.
That's what I'm saying. But that's different expectations at different schools. It's reason that goes to what Stat is saying about
I understand that.
While at Oklahoma, a recruiting class wouldn't save your job. South Carolina is a little different. It may save his job because it's been better than what it has been.
Yeah, but here's the thing. My problem would be he's recruited well already, and he's not getting it done.
Decent.
And these guys are leaving. His best guys ended up leaving and shit. So I would have pulled the plug on
our best guys aren't leaving though, Jason. We got 13 guys in the portal. Who?
Okay. You're tied in from last. You lost a lot of dudes from last year. You didn't even have a tight end this year, did you?
Yeah, because we did. We went and got 3 out of the portal. But Jaheim Bell played running back the second half of the year last year. That's the thing. It doesn't matter. That's why he left. Juice Wells is leaving. That's fine. Like
you're making my point for me. Why the hell is he playing running back when he's one of the best tight ends in the country?
But who did we have playing running back last year? We didn't have a running back. Our running back room was with injuries. That's what I'm saying. It's just different.
My point for me. I'm saying if he is not going to be great at one thing, he better be really damn good at the other.
He's different expectations, dog.
5 and 7 is okay, I guess. Okay, all right.
All I'm saying is
trying to make my point, man. But
I'm saying is 7-5 for Mark Stoops at Kentucky is frowned upon if if Brent Venable was 7-5 this year. Y'all have been losing y'all damn mind if Brent Venables was 7-5.
Hell yeah, we will.
Different expectations for different programs. That's all I'm saying.
Yep,
that's all I'm saying.
We've been going for damn near 3 hours. We gotta lock it up. In fact,
shout out to Boomer for the legendary comment.
Shout out to Boomer for the best
top notch
comment of the week. We're definitely gonna
missed it. Man, stroll up.
Yeah, you don't even seen it. Oh man, I'm gonna throw it back up.
I had it on full.
Yeah,
I had it on full.
Oh, okay.
Water polo.
There it is.
South Carolina is legend.
That's when I was talking about the other sports. Yeah. So, hey, that was going.
So we're gonna jump.
Joe, I'm looking to water polo in South Carolina.
Hey, Jason, I want to say this before we get out of here, man. Don't let this go over your head. Stat guy being realistic about South Carolina because that's not going to happen.
Pretty wild, isn't it? Yeah, listen, I know, and I'm ready to. I appreciate you coming on and talking to me, and I'm not hating on you. You know that. I can't wait till you come out to Norman next year, and
they got the flight booked and everything, in person.
We'll have fun.
Hey,
I got your tickets, so we're good on that.
I was gonna say, bro, just get ready because I'm telling you, you got about 2 or 3 more weeks of me being realistic. This new year gonna hit, and we going 12-0.
12-0.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
But we're not gonna fire him at 5 and 7 because we're gonna go 12-0. I love
you. Damn right.
Hey, welcome to the SEC and the fans that are South Carolina.
I love it.
Lord have mercy. 12-0.
I want it. There's only 4 road games, I think. Yeah, 4 road games in the SEC next year, but I'm gonna try to make them all.
12 though.
If you make the Auburn, that's the same weekend we play Alabama. We could try something in like Montgomery or something like a meetup or something.
We really got to do.
You in Alabama or you in Georgia?
Oh, you were talking to me. Oh, I'm right. I'm in Opelika. I'm right next door to Auburn.
Okay. Hey, that'd be a good meetup weekend that Friday before the game.
But I tell you though, I think we need to get the Hall of Fame Mafia. We need to do something this summer. It's like a summit, man, for this thing. You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
I'm down.
I come play some golf in South Carolina. I'm down. I'm ready.
Let's do it.
I know it gets hotter than shit over there.
Bro, you have no idea.
I have an idea. I've been around there.
Bro, that humidity is bananas.
Brutal. Yes. But I love golf, and that's good golf state.
I will say that. Bro, appreciate you, man.
Hey guys, appreciate you guys. Tell everybody how to get to your channels and stuff. You guys got to check out Brinsky's channel. It's fun.
I'm gonna go on there, man. Me and Brinsky got to hook up, man. I gotta go on there. Give him a hard time.
Oh, you won't give me a hard time, man, because trust me, it'll be your type of show for real.
Kind of like Shawty's show.
Oh yeah. My guy Shawty keep it 100 now. I didn't get to check it out last night. Anyway, y'all can find me on the Fan Addict. You can find me on the Fan Addict, man. Y'all know, and I'll be over here,
Toothbrushes in the back. Yep.
Second home. So Fan Addict Sports on all platforms.
Well, I'm Brinks Sharp of the Sharpshooters Podcast. Y'all catch us every Wednesday. Oh, we drop every Wednesday. Could be at 11, 12, or 2. It don't matter. I just drop it on Wednesday. But definitely come check us out. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Everybody in here subscribe to everybody's channel in here. All these guys doing great work. Shout out to Jason for always being very, very supportive. Love you, man.
Love you guys too, man. This is my favorite time, and we're gonna have Chris on a little bit more. He's about to start his show as well, I believe.
That's what's up,
right, Chris? So tell him how to find you at least on Twitter, and so we can have continue.
Man, I don't even know my Twitter ad, if we're being honest.
I think
there it is, Chris Rich 316. There we go. I don't ever at myself, you know what I mean? So facts. Now y'all just find me on Twitter talking shit, because that's what I do best.
He does do that, yeah. Good stuff, man. Guys, thanks a lot. And I appreciate everybody that came in. I hope we have a lot of likes on that page. I hadn't looked at it in a while, but if you haven't hit that like button, please do, or hit the dislike if you want. As long as you are just interacting with the content, then more people see the content, man. We appreciate everybody coming on, going back and forth with us, even you clowns from Texas. We appreciate you guys too. So, but yeah, throw them down, and we'll see you guys all on.
I'm still mad about this.
You the man, dog. You the man.
Hey, Sharp, I ain't want to bring it up, but Texas holding it over our heads. You know what I'm saying? They beat y'all, and they beat us the last time they played us too.
Oh yeah, they did beat y'all in Sugar
Bowl.
Hey,
what about Texas there, Chris?
Yeah, holding it over our head, dog.
Well, I mean, about Texas.
Damn, I got that shit in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what's old boy name's
the quarterback from Texas.
Yeah, talking about where, man. Shut up, boy.
Yeah.
Ellinger. Yeah. They're always back.
And people don't think about it. They beat us. They beat us in the Sugar Bowl, and then they beat Alabama this year. So they got the most recent win over both of us.
We can't relate. So I apologize, fellas.
Yeah. Conversely, you guys took an L to both of us the last time you played each of us.
Hey, it's New Year, boys. We beat Texas. Y'all. I'm just saying.
That's right. Yeah. Y'all lost to Alabama the last time.
The last time.
The last time. We only played y'all.
I don't want to talk about the damn Rose Bowl again. No.
Another coaching blunder.
Good night, guys.
All right, fellas.